So, Dan, how much would you pay for the TJ's injured foot pick NFT?
I'm going to say, well, how much value is in it? Is the whole league investing?
It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
If you right-click your dog shit.
Chicken shit, was it?
Yeah.
2 pennies.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 2 pennies on the table.
Yeah, it might be harder than I thought.
or what Mike just does, a little like, it sounded like every time. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, for anyone watching, we're doing a swear jar. So if anyone wants to count up afterwards, we'll fill it up the next time.
But back to the good question.
How much money?
Yeah.
I'd give you a nickel.
Nickel?
Ooh, all right.
Mostly because you got fat toes.
It's true.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Thick.
I don't like fat toes.
You're a thin toe man?
Mm.
All right.
All right.
Have you?
Bit of a foot model myself.
Oh, yeah?
You
You want to pee my arch?
No, I'm good.
Oh,
Damn.
baby.
Look at that arch.
Wow.
That's a nice arch.
It's going to cause you problems,
Those are
though.
not flat.
Yeah.
How have you come to become a thin toe man?
How have I?
Yeah.
I was born this way.
Fair
So, flat feet are good.
In what way?
Or bad, sorry. Flat feet are bad. Feet with too much arch is bad.
I think I have
So
the
just
perfect
like
amount.
just the perfect amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
Respectable.
Cool. So what
Well, yeah,
happened to
so
your foot?
anyways, the injury. I mean, honestly, I don't even remember. It was definitely, I was on defense. I just don't remember who was throwing to who. I was either guarding Dan or Dan was throwing to Josh. It was one of the two. I was on either Josh or Dan. And literally it was the lamest thing ever. I just went out for, to try to get a D, didn't make it, and instead of landing flat, landed in.
Were you like propelling forward, or were you just jumping straight up?
I mean, it was like I was running, and we were like running towards the side. It was probably late in the stall count, because it was a deep-ish throw. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, I was running and like Mario jumping essentially.
80%, 75%.
80.
Did you catch the disc?
Nope, didn't touch it. But whoever I was D'ing didn't touch it either. So
Did you call injury directly afterwards?
yeah, it was. Well, I didn't actually. Dan did because he noticed I was just
No,
straight
you-
on the ground.
Because somebody caught that disc.
Really?
Yeah, because we walked you off field, and then I came back and tapped it in on offense.
Oh.
Why would you?
Well, it would have
Did
been
you
a
catch
turn
it?
at that point. Or
No, I don't.
No,
I
I don't
have
think
no
Dan
clue,
was.
honestly.
Yeah, I
Then
don't.
why
remember.
did you have the disc?
Are you sure you remember that right?
Or maybe I was.
Maybe.
On,
It could have been a turn.
or maybe
and
I
then
was
he
on
did
offense
tap
and
it.
then.
Because it definitely doesn't make sense that if
You were out of bounds, Kevin. All right. Shut your mouth.
We'll have to talk about that later.
That's our camera.
I don't think
Mine ain't.
I don't think that exists.
Maybe I was actually on offense. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was making a cut.
I think it
And then it was a
might
turn
because
after.
I do remember picking up after that.
Yeah, I remember just being pissed. I literally never hurt myself in sports by any means. Like I twist my ankle, I've done whatever, scars from bidding and stuff, but I've never actually hurt myself. When I landed on the ground, I did hear a little bit of a crack, not crack, but
A
roll.
tap.
Well, like a roll. Yeah, a prop.
What does a
Prop.
what does a roll sound like?
It was gross.
Gross.
Literally, no. As it landed, I was like, oh, and then I sat there. I was like, okay, that kind of hurts. And then I moved forward to get up, and I was like, oh, no, this is not good. And then I tried to walk it off and did for 2 points, and then played the last point. And definitely
was
should not
stupid.
have done that. Yeah,
that was straight up stupid.
but we won on Universe, so I'll take it. And I threw at least one thing on that
Alright.
point.
How late in the game was it?
It was
Literally
about-
the
last-
third or fourth last point.
Yeah, probably
Oh, really?
last 5 minutes or
Yeah.
so.
Which really sucked because you guys were starting to have so into now talking about our game. You were starting
Real
to have
quick,
yeah.
Winging Lizard, your 911 sauce, pussy shit.
Wait, did you try it?
Yeah, I ate
Swear
it.
jar.
You ate the whole thing?
Yeah.
It was
Well, not all 5 wings, but
Yeah.
You may as well if there's
fair. Yeah, if it's terrible, go ahead.
Yeah.
Have another one.
I mean, I don't like it. It's not hot though.
Should have got the one with the blisters on
Yeah,
the
whatever that
esophagus.
was,
Which one was that?
Fire in the hole or magma or
I
something.
don't know.
I think it's magma. Magma was the next one up.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Well, Dan ate his hot wing because he lost. So.
Yeah, now I'm a loser.
But no, yeah, talking about our game, I definitely drank too much at wherever we were the first time. Because when I started,
Really?
like mid game, I was like, I'm like
You only had like
dehydrated. And,
2 drinks.
No, I had
I thought you
2 of the whiskey sangrias, which is
Yeah.
literally whiskey and
Oh,
wine,
and then you had a shot. Too
and
after
then a shot and
You had another shot.
2 shots. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 shots. So I was fine. I was able to like get there and play, but it was too much for playing the first game.
I was in a sweet spot.
And then it sucked because after, like, we were doing fine, and then you started getting a little momentum because you and Josh, like, really got a fight.
Let's preface this with saying, end of the first half. First off, the 2 games that weren't on film this week, tragedy.
True.
Because
Yeah.
the game that was on film, it was alright.
It's fine.
No
It
disrespect.
was good.
It was
But-
not as good as your game.
yeah,
That's
but-
fair to say.
It was
Yeah.
much more entertaining.
But we had an absolute blowout, and then like a 6-7 point comeback.
Yeah. Come
To
back 4
Universe.
to Universe. Yeah.
So real tragedy that no one else gets to see that. But yeah, first half really kind of went as you were predicting. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna win 18 zip, and then yeah, I think we really just kind of started finding our rhythm. Like every time I was going out, whoever's out on the sideline with me, I was just trying to tell them like, hey, listen, it's the first week. We're experimenting here. It's cool. Like,
Yeah.
this is your first time playing on a team together. Don't matter.
That was exactly what I was saying going in, was literally just make mistakes. Like, this is the week to just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and then Chase pleasantly surprised me. He did really well. He's a sponge, that kid. He soaked up everything I told him. Vince, he started off a little rocky. He definitely seemed nervous, or like it felt like unfamiliar to him. But so I really tried to reassure him, like, hey, just go out there and do your thing. Vince, we're late game 2 weeks from now, so like we can throw, we can practice prior.
Can I teach you about the forehand?
Yeah, we're gonna learn. No. He knows a forehand.
Oh yeah, backhand.
Yes,
You got
Oh,
to
nice.
backhand.
that is the goal. Vince, we're gonna learn a backhand, all right, bud?
Did he show up in his Weekend Lizard Tour of Beers jacket?
Did he? I couldn't tell you.
Pay attention. That's a good jacket.
You think
All
Weekend
right.
Yeah.
You
Is
think
that
Weekend
like-
Lizard, like, sponsored this?
Yeah.
After I just called him.
2 mentions already. Yeah, after calling their sauce pushy shit.
But yeah, no, definitely. Second half came in and we went on like a 5-6 break rally, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I just told everybody to keep funneling to the sideline because the wall is way better than people give it credit for.
Yep.
It's a free second defender.
Yeah, you
I've been giving it credit for the last 2 months. I just want that on the record. I've been jerking off the wall for
That's
a
true.
while
That's
now.
very true.
Well, last podcast, you guys literally said the wall doesn't affect everything, and complete bullshit. I'm sorry,
It-
that is
it affected
huge.
at
I've
least-
never played with walls, and it is very different.
Well, we were saying that it was going to not come into play as often.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it did.
Yes, it did.
That is actually one thing I was going to mention is your team was doing a very good job of, like, trapping us on the sideline. And I had it, like, 2 or 3 times, and it was, like, I was able to get it off, but you had a couple of there, it was, like, Aaron had it, or, like, there was a couple people who were a lot less experienced throws had it right on the sideline. I was like, oh. It was much more difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty suffocating. But yeah, game ended on Universe. Either Aaron or somebody got it. Not exactly over Jan, but
Elizabeth, yeah.
yeah, Elizabeth beat out Jan for the game point.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no, that was nice. Our, like, thing that we came away with that was making mistakes, that was seeing where we were, and then, like, we're going to try to go into learning actual offense. Because they understood the vert stack, but the things about it are, like, that they don't necessarily get our spacing and timing.
I'm
And,
torn
like,
on
that type of stuff.
vert with the field as it
Yeah.
is. Because like
It's small for vert, but
But also, it's like side stacks got to run very specifically, on that field. Like you got because it's stall 7.
Mm.
So
But
people
if
got to
you have
move.
the dudes for it, it could work.
If what?
If you have the dudes for it, it could work.
Oh, your team of dudes.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're basically ISOing whoever the first cut is. So if you really trust that person to get open and make the right move.
My point is, people got to move. Like, if somebody's got to know, hey, I'm first cut. They tap the disc in, I'm moving.
But that's kind of the thing for any offense,
Well,
right?
but your 7-second stall count changes that big time. You need that first cut to come off really quick.
Yep.
Okay.
I think if you're going to try and run a side stack on the size of the field we have, it's one handler back, one cutter starts in the middle by an ISO by himself, and the front of the stack's a little farther back to be a reset if need be. Bailout option when the stall gets high.
That's not bad.
Makes sense.
You
Yeah.
literally just wrote up the offense I sent my team. I was talking to Wojo today, and he's like, how can we get more spacing? And I was like, well, we don't need 2 handlers, but we'll have one guy set back in case we need to reset, and then we'll only send 1, maybe 2 in the middle. And I was like, you just literally said it.
Yeah. Yep.
So for the 2 people here that watched TJ and I's game, hey, you were keeping score, Pat, you were taking stats. What were some like takeaways on like whether of matchups, people who impressed you, just like
It was a tale of 2 games. It was just the first half of your team's just drops.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, keeping stats, I honestly think it was just a constant, like, drop, turnover, drop, turnover, drop, turnover for your team. And then the
we are
second
leading in drops in the league right now.
I believe it, yeah. And then the second half, all of that just changed. Because you hit at least 4 people wide open in the end zone the first half that were drops that would have changed the game completely.
Yeah, for sure.
If those were picked up. So that was the biggest takeaway and the most obvious thing to fix. And a pretty easy one at that, which is nice.
Just concentrate more in 2 hands. Yeah, no,
I think you guys will end up synergizing a lot better. Obviously, like, I think you guys had a little bit of jitters, like, just starting out. Like, you got people that are pretty inexperienced. Once everybody got, like, sort of acclimated to, like, their matchup and everything, I think you guys did really good. I don't know. Josh did, honestly, pretty well at locking down Mark from what I had seen, because he was basically all over him the entire game. I mean, he had I think he had a couple points, but other than that, it was pretty abysmal.
He was pretty fired up.
Yeah, I think he's really, really destined to try to be a lot better. I mean, his speed helps a ton. He just got to lock down a couple more things.
So, I didn't watch this game, but I'm curious. Because at half it was 8-2, right?
Yeah, something like that.
What did you tell your team?
We didn't have a halftime.
You didn't have a halftime?
No, we did not.
because we were so late, like,
So
getting
you
on
just
it,
rolled
setting
through
obviously
it.
just
Yeah,
rolled
just
through
kept
it.
going.
Okay, I was curious on what you told
I didn't
your
have time
team.
to sit down and be like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Swear to God.
I said, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Exactly.
It seems like it was a good thing.
I mean, I tried to give like my little speech as much as I could when I was off the field, but you know, then I only have one other person there with me,
Yeah.
and we kind of got off in pairs, so like I was off with Vince a lot, and so like I talked to Vince a lot, and I think it helped. But you know, I got to talk to Chase for a little bit, and I got to talk to. Well, no, I never sat out with Christina, but she killed it. She surprised me a lot. She's a very intelligent player. I was surprised to see her playing so much like poach defense, just because like she knew like, hey, I can give this person 5-10 yards, and then I'll take up this space where the cut wants to be, and so she was playing really smart.
Good first round pick then?
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
The only thing
That's my grower.
The only thing I think you guys like solved at least sort of towards the end was Vince just clogging space, because like I think once he understands like the game a little bit more, he'll realize like being in that space was like really bad for your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he literally just stopping play basically at the beginning of the game because you guys couldn't move the disc forward with him standing there. Like there was someone poaching 10 yards off the disc on that side, and you just couldn't get anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that was exactly like what we started to do in the second half. We were getting like, well, not nervous, we were getting like
Relax.
antsy. Relaxed in the first half, and then you guys started to score like 1 or 2, so we were getting like, we got to do something, and then it turned into this like hesitancy to like clear, to run, to like whatever, and we were just like we were
On
clawing
your side
constantly.
of the team, your biggest problem is be managing personalities. Because I
Yeah.
feel like in that second half, kind of what you're saying, everyone wanted to make the big play
Yep.
to keep you guys in it, whether it was Mark, well, I guess you at the end, but not so much, but like, or Palms. You guys had a lot of quick turns because you instantly looked deep and like
Yep.
didn't throw to the unders or something like that.
No, exactly. And I think it had to do a little bit with like the new people too. You know, so we had like Aaron and Paul and people who like hadn't really played.
Paul
So I
was
think that they-
a threat.
Yeah.
He I think after half, because I think I put Chase on him for a little while, and Chase was doing fine. It's not that he was like giving him a bunch of stuff, but Paul definitely just had like an edge on him, and so in the second half I started to guard Paul because I was like, oh, he's gaining too much mileage.
No, I
He's a
agree.
workhorse.
I think that they were like coming out to prove that they're good, which they are, which is amazing. But that was part of it. You know.
All right, do we move on to the topic of the probably the most interesting topic of the day being Scott's game?
Scott's game happened.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
let us
Frisbee
Did it
was
happen?
played for 50 minutes.
let's preface it with
First 3
saying
minutes.
not a single person here thought you were gonna lose.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I actually.
I'm not in that group, full disclosure.
Fair enough.
okay.
No, you were.
On the first
So,
cast.
After listening to what we said last week, I was more accurate with my assessment of the team than I thought. I just thought that our strengths would cover up our weaknesses. I expected us to have problems with offense. I did not expect Gabe's team to score basically every time they touched the disc. I don't think we had like a single break against them. I don't think that we just didn't play good defense. I think there's a lot of, what do you call it, jet skiing, where you're just kind of following the guy around the field,
That's jet skiing.
which is not great. I kind of went into with the attitude I didn't want to tell everybody what to do because I believe that they had a lot more knowledge and they're pretty experienced. I didn't feel qualified to start like
That's your role.
No, laying down the law.
You're the
and
the
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any sort of an identity on offense or defense. Adding into that, the fact that Matt Ferris slept through the game, so we were down a sub.
For shame.
Which I don't know. Joey said he slept through it, and he said in the group chat that he was fighting something, so slept through the game. Sick.
Fighting sleep.
Yeah, fighting sleep.
Sleep paralysis.
It's up in the air. I think one of the other issues that happened is we whiffed on like 3 deep throws early on and then just didn't throw deep the rest of the game. So there's just a ton of clogging from that point onwards. Because we were just kind of trying to rein it in with getting used to where the wall was and how that affected kind of your range and where you needed to put discs.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it dialed in fairly well at the end, but, not well enough. Second half went better than the first half, but they outscored us, 6-3 in the second half instead of 13-3 in the first half.
Yeah.
So one of my big questions is, how many turns do you think your team had as a whole?
I was going to ask that.
As a whole,
I don't think we had any more than any other team.
No, we had
As
a
a
lot.
How many turns?
You
wouldn't. Hold on.
Just capitalize.
You both give me numbers of what you think your turns were.
I would get I know mine is 7.
Your total teams.
Total team, I would say probably 15.
What'd you say?
I was gonna guess. Well, I was originally gonna guess 7 overall, but I guess 10 now.
I
Alright.
would argue that a lot of that is because we were down by 8 points and we were just boosting a lot in the second half.
Do you want me to tell you how many turns your team together had?
I think you're going to anyway.
30.
Oof.
You had 30 turnovers, not including drops. With drops, you had 34, 35.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
I think the most shocking part of that stat was Dustin had 10 of them.
Yeah, Dustin had 10 of your 30
Dustin-
turnovers.
Between
He had a
you,
whole
you and
30.
Dustin had 17 combined.
Okay, I know I had
was
7,
shocked
which
by
wasn't great.
I do want to go on record and say that a lot of times the most effective, or at least the most playmaker people have the highest turns in
Yes.
drops.
He has to dish the most.
just
Makes
because
sense, yeah.
they're doing the most. But But yes,
One of
Yeah,
the,
Tens a lot, no matter what.
that's
Though,
tens
in
of
our
a lot,
game.
no matter what.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a positive assist stat
Right,
backing it.
exactly. You need something
Yeah.
else on top of that too.
so
Because Dustin had 1 assist, 10 turns.
Anybody watching that game? Like, can you give any?
I was the only
analysis
one.
why?
Me and Mike.
So-
no one else
Yeah.
watched that. Even
Well, no,
though-
Kevin
I
watched
was
it.
watching.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you think?
Kevin was keeping the
what I
stats.
can see is, well, early on, before your game started, I was walking past Dustin, your team, and Dustin comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Kevin, Scott gave me the green light." And I was like, "Oh no, that's not a good idea."
I don't know.
I don't know if you heard me, but I think I said it. Are you sure about this?
Yeah, I believed in my guy,
My dude.
my dude.
Yeah.
Team of dudes over there.
Was not a guy. He was just a dude.
He was just no. He wasn't a dude. He was just a guy.
Guy being dudes.
Yeah.
I think your biggest issue early on, like definitely in the first half, was when you guys were on offense and had the disc. There was no like structured offense being ran. Everyone was everywhere.
Oh yeah, and that was our main problem on offense and defense. There was no plan. We just went out and played.
And then Joey and Dustin were taking some probably shots that they don't have.
Yeah, I think the other issue with that is there was a decent amount of waiting around on the other 3 people on the field's part. I think I kind of got in their heads like, oh, these 2 have the green light. They're going to do some stuff. We can just kind of relax and let it happen. Because there was a lot of times when you,
know,
me,
then everyone
Mike,
just
Walsh,
relaxed
and
a bit
Angel
too
was
hard.
just like a half second too late to start the cut. So it's just a little bit too covered, results in a turn.
There was also there were a lot of double cuts with your team. Like I saw times where this would go up to Mike Long.
Yeah.
He'd be running for it, and then someone else would be running in the exact same thing, and then just
Yeah.
they'd play defense on themselves.
Yeah.
The other team wouldn't D it or do anything. Your 2 players played defense on themselves and just
Yeah.
boxed each other out from the disc.
No,
And
so
one got
yeah,
it.
I'm going to probably figure out our offense and our defense. I'm leaning towards a horizontal stack just to spread the field more horizontally, but I'm skeptical because I think in order to make that work, we would need people with more consistent break throws a lot of the time.
Joe's got
So
it.
here, going back at it though, like with Dustin, he had 10 turnovers, but
He probably had like 40 or 50
he had
completions.
10 turnovers, but I think half of those turnovers were them just going out the back. So once you just understand the field that you're playing
There
on,
were
then
3 or 4 in the very beginning where I was not crazy open because I'm not like crazy. I'm not fast, but
You crazy.
yeah, no, I'm not fast
Correct.
enough to be crazy open on a field that big. I was open enough, and he just put it just a tiny bit too far because he, didn't know how much room I had.
You also got some unlucky breaks too, like Walshy's run through D.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the,
true.
the literally
Walsh
D
had a
in the
really
hitch-
nice like turning around, twisting
run through D on the hitch pass, and Sammy just scooped it up right before it hit the ground.
Yeah, and then so Walshy's 10 yards downfield, and we're all trying to scramble on defense, and they just score.
Yeah. There's some unlucky breaks like that, but it happens.
Yeah, I think, there's nowhere to go but up from here, so it should be good rest of the season.
That's a good mentality. Because you got smacked.
Yeah, no, I
mentality
was
you
there.
can.
I actually played in the game.
Brought down to earth.
Oh wait, really?
I heard a rumor that you yelled at Mike Long.
Oh, I absolutely had Mike Long. Mike Long made me pretty mad.
Trouble in paradise.
The score
I was
was
just giving the team shit, and he didn't like the shit that I was slinging.
so there's been this narrative going around that Walsh and Mike Long have been on the worst team for the last 2 years.
What do you mean?
And-
We were in the semi. We were in the finals
We
last
had the
year.
worst record.
Who cares? Who cares?
And
We got scammed out of the championship with bullshit calls.
You should have been in the championship, bro.
So it was 3-1, and Mike Long turns around and starts talking like it's happening against Scott Walsh. No, it was 3-1. The 4th point of the game in the first game of the season.
Okay, I remember
I
the
swear to
exact
God.
conversation it was. Like they were at 15 to like 2 or something.
That's what I
And then I was like, so
yelled
when-
at you,
when
but that was
was-
not the first time you said it.
But no, it was like 15 to 2, and I was like, so is this like mercy rule in play? Because like before we said that no one's gonna get 15 points over on another team.
Well, Dan said that. No one else agreed.
What did I say?
You thought that 15 points would be a lot and no one would get there at any point in the season.
Like
I
15.
didn't say at any point in the season. I said 18.
Well, you originally said, should we play to 15?
Yeah, because that's just like a typical benchmark score.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but also I'm going to need some positivity in the first game of the season.
I started getting real positive when it was 9 to like 14. No, not 9 to
It was
14.
never 9.
You guys. Well, yeah,
Here's
when
the
it
difference
was,
between our two teams.
When, it
When I
like
was down
6 to
8
18.
points, I kept it really positive.
That's true. You really
I
did.
kept it positive. I only ever yell at people for being negative. That's the only thing that will ever get me mad at a teammate.
Good.
Is when they're
you're
like
gonna
shitting
cure
on our team.
negativity with more negativity.
I'm not saying it's a smart strategy, but it's way better than getting mad at people for drops and
Make a
stuff.
positive.
True. I mean, you can just
There's
not
a lot of
get
ways
mad
to look
at
at
all. Like, it's
After
It
you
was-
yelled at me, I started playing a lot safer.
Yeah,
and
Scott,
smarter.
I'm going to ask you to rein in your humanity and your emotions. And just
Yeah.
bottle it all up
Just
like
bottle
a true
it up.
man.
And then shoot my brains out 40
Yeah.
years from now.
Yeah, well,
Just
Welcome to America.
yep.
On the last podcast, you talked about 4 of the 5 people on your team were smart players, correct? Or 4
No,
of
no,
the
I said
7?
our
5 of the
our
7.
strategy was going to be for 5 of us to play smart, like easy up the line throws, quick resets, and then for 2 of the guys to take shots. After
That'd be great.
Dustin threw like 4 or 5 points away, he said, "I'm not handling anymore," and so we kind of changed our strategy on the fly, which also didn't work. But I don't know if that answered the question you're about to ask.
I was
but-
going to ask. That's what you said. So you had 5. You were going to have 5 people that play smart offense, smart decisions, and then 2 people that are just
Yeah.
going to be gunslingers.
Sure.
Did that happen at all?
I would
In your opinion.
say it tried to happen. We were too hesitant, and on a field like that, if you get a look, you got to take it and trust yourself and make the throw. A lot of times, someone's coming across for the break throw, and I stepped across to throw it. It was open, and then I hesitated, and it wasn't open, and it was a turn. A lot of things like that going. I didn't trust other people. People didn't trust me. I think that part of playing smart is that you have to actually have something you're trying to accomplish as far as an offense is concerned, which we didn't. We were just playing Frisbee. So I think as we do either of those things, we should be fine.
I think going forward, try and get your team to play more of hit the first hands they see open.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who they are, what you think about them. If they're open, you're giving it to them. If they drop it,
Not
whatever.
your fault.
Not your fault. Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I meant by smart Frisbee. That was kind of the whole idea. What do you think, Dan?
I was going to ask just a general question, like, because you've been saying, like, oh, well, we just went in and we played Frisbee. Are you gonna do anything about that? Are
No,
you,
I
are
am.
you as
So,
a captain going to say, hey, all right, now we're playing this offense. Here's how it's gonna run. I need these 2 to handle, or this 1 to handle, or whatever.
Yeah.
Defensively, are you gonna try and?
Yeah, I'm thinking about some stuff.
You're coming in 2 weeks and playing the league as
My-
opposed
my-
to playing pickup.
Yeah, no, my plan was to find some videos of like how to run at such and such stack and send them to my team this week and kind of talk about how we would modify that for indoor. Because I personally like the idea of a host stack, because where we were able to find success was with the medium length passes and then just kind of throwing it to the tallest person in the end zone. I think the 4 times we actually did that, it worked like 3 of them. I don't know if that's a good basis for an offense, so we might also alternate with a vert or a side stack or maybe something more fucked up. I think on defense, a lot of it is going to be communicating with what our goal is, and I think contrary to everything Kevin's ever said, forcing deep could have some success on such a small field.
What do you mean contradicting? I always say force the guy deep.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, that's what we should do. That's
Right.
exactly what we should do.
Following in the words
Following
of Kevin.
the words of our Lord and Savior, Kevin Jesus Nickel.
Cthulhu Company.
Yeah. We're gonna probably try to force deep. And I'm thinking of trying something.
Cock and ball torture.
I'd be interested to see how a zone works, just where we always try and force sideline. I think that would probably require a higher degree of communication than we're capable of. But I think it could also be really good if we can.
I think you got definitely what I saw in your game is you guys were not forcing a single direction at all. There's a lot of straight up marks.
So there were 3 points.
There's
I
time
sat out 3 points that entire game, and all I did was sit on the sideline and say, force flick. We got to turn all 3 times.
So maybe the key is you don't play.
Yeah. honestly.
There's a correlation here.
There's a couple things going on here. 1, you got too much hair. You got a lot of drag going on up there.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
2, look what coaching does. 3, you're a buster and stay off the field. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Point 1, fuck you, Scott. Point 2,
Yeah.
fuck you again. Point 3,
See above.
Bang.
see ya,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine. I was also surprised by Gabe's team. Not by Gabe and Elliott, because they're Gabe and Elliott. They're pretty solid. But Sammy Burke seems like he's actually been spending time paying attention to. I don't know if Gabe's been coaching him up a little bit, but he had some solid flicks. He was playing good defense. He was in the right place at the right time. There's a couple times where, got him on, you haven't been playing the game long enough type stuff, but for the most part, he was out there doing the right stuff. Sam Smartnick had like a 40-yard flick down the field for a pass, which surprised me.
Nope.
No, Gabe has both the same.
Gabe
They're
has
thinking
both
about
Sams.
Didn't he
this.
play on your team?
No.
Who was
I do want to say
There was
Sam
the guy who
Smartnick.
kind of looked like Jake,
Did-
who was Dennis' other son.
Did he wear the Pat team hat?
No.
No, that was Matt. Matt was
No, that
wearing
was
a
his
hat.
older brother.
Matt! Oh
Which
my
is-
god.
It's Shannick, not.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys should
Okay,
know.
that's really funny. It was
Yeah,
Shannick.
no,
I
I-
didn't, when it was
totally-
happening, I didn't realize
Yeah.
you guys were saying that because I listened to it back and I was like, oh, I should have corrected that. I knew his name.
I completely mixed up Matt and Sam. I
Right.
forgot Sam was in the league.
Anyway, Sam Smartnick did get bailed out by Elliott or Gabe a couple times on some of those shots, but he did not play bad.
No, he didn't play bad. Also, apparently Rebecca is like 5'11", so that would have been nice to know in advance.
I would say, look, she scored 5 of the goals. For
Yeah.
that. I was just looking at the stats.
It was just her doing this over top of Angel.
Wow.
It was really something that a
Yeah,
good coach would have done something about.
Gabe kind of abused that.
Yeah.
Because I hurt myself and was on the upper field, I literally saw 0 seconds of
Yeah.
that game. So I did not beat Becca at all, and I didn't even know Sam Smartnick was there.
Sam Smartnick was I got Men in Black. He was gone.
Yeah.
I could not, for the life of me, remember who he was. I still don't. I'm trying to put a face to it.
December 2nd, I'll point directly to him, get his attention. and say,
Sam,
I look
if
at
you're
you and say,
listening-
this is it.
Send Dan a DM.
I want your whole profile. I want
He was the
what
skinny
size
kid.
shoe do you wear. I want how tall are you? How big's your cock?
Gabe just messaged us saying, make sure you apologize to me on this podcast.
Yeah, literally right now. Just
Absolutely not. We're
Gabe,
apologizing.
Perfect timing, Gabe. Well played.
I don't think there's any apologies to be given. I think we all called it pretty well, which is that Gabe and Elliott could just play catch for an entire game, and it's up to whoever they play against to stop them.
It's not exactly what happened, though. I mean, Tim had 3 assists, Sam had 3 assists.
Yeah, but
Back
if you get it 3/4 of the way up the field with them playing catch and then just throw it to the tall guy in the end zone,
Tall gal. Thank you.
well, tall person.
Different.
Well, Tim's tall. Tim's like 6'3".
What did Tim do?
Tim had 2 goals, 3 assists.
Oh, good on Timothy.
And a D as well.
Wow. Okay.
Only positive.
I like to see that, Tim.
That was
Yeah.
like Palms for us.
Grandpa.
I think,
Palms
right?
had a lot
No,
of
Palms had
turns.
7
Oh,
turns.
no. Mark then. Mark or Palms, one of the two. One of them had only positive. Like, stats.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah. I was a fan.
Yeah, I think the only thing wrong with their take from last week was severely underestimating how long it would take my team to actually be a team. Because we haven't done it yet.
On the bright side,
Nowhere to go but up.
you cannot do any worse.
Wait.
Challenge accepted.
Who does Scott play?
I think it's you next.
Me?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right, yeah,
Look
there's no way
out
we do
for
worse.
20 points.
Look out for the first mercy rule.
Hey, we got
Honestly,
we
no.
got Matt Ferris. We got a new team name coming the next week. We're ready to go.
You're changing?
Alright.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah,
Gabe switched his team from Huck Dynasty to something else, and we're picking up the reins. We're Huck Dynasty now.
Gabe's team slapped Scott so bad he's like, we need to change names and start over.
Whatever they're doing,
Yeah,
we
we're-
need to start doing.
we're
I feel like
taking
this
their
is when
name
the
now.
Browns changed the color of helmets and we're like, we're a new team!
Yeah,
All of a sudden we're good now.
yeah, exactly.
Scott's
Except for
doing it
this
right now.
isn't after like 20 years of sadness. This is after one less than ideal game.
20
So it
years of
worked.
That's
sadness.
fair.
No,
This
this is gonna be the direct comparison to a couple weeks ago when you guys got slapped and the Browns got slapped by the Patriots. The comparison I was making the previous week, and then you're gonna barely squeak one out against Dan.
No, no,
this week
no.
against the
Okay,
Lions.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm
We got Nick Chubb coming back off injured reserve,
there you go.
off COVID reserve rather.
Yep.
So Matt Ferris is your Nick
Matt
Chubb?
Ferris.
That's a really bad case
Wow.
scenario.
Fair.
If I remember
Say
correctly,
You willing to
Good-
put something on the line here?
Yeah, good prediction.
I'm willing to make a bet every fucking week on this
Yeah,
I think we
I'll
podcast.
should, yeah.
I
At
think
least one.
the wing bet should just become a regular.
I'm not. I
Winger
don't
beer.
want to eat a
Winger beer, I
I'll,
think.
I'll bet a
Oh
beer
no,
any day.
I'll be the one. I'll
What,
eat the wing
are you a
before
hot sauce
coach
bitch?
beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes it even more enticing.
That's fair.
Yeah, but like you don't care. So what do I get if I?
Well, no, we just need to go hotter than that for me to care.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, we can tone it down to your level. Like, you can have barbecue
No,
sauce.
it's not. It's not. I did the
bet some barbecue wings.
the challenge, the hot wings
Oh,
challenge.
were you there when we did that?
Yeah.
Okay, so why
I
not?
just don't want to.
It's one wing.
Yeah, it sure is.
So,
Sure.
anyway, Higgy, were you the one on the last podcast that Scott's team was going to be the Browns?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
is.
that's why I
Yeah,
just
that's what
finished
he
it.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said they're gonna get absolutely blown out, and then they're just gonna win, and then they'll get absolutely blown out, and then they'll
And they'll
win.
win.
Like,
Yeah,
they're gonna go
and-
5-5. That's what I predicted.
And you got Baker Mayfield, who's an arguably overrated quarterback, playing
Slash
with an
guy.
injury he should probably take a rest from.
Yeah.
Showing up with my fucking knee
There
sleeve
you
on.
go. The comparisons are there. The lines are drawn.
Wait, who am I?
Penny
on the
Sylvia.
Browns team?
Corey, you on the Browns team?
Miles Garrett.
You could be Rashard Higgins. I don't know. Is he still on the Browns?
Yes, and Mike Long's not Rashard Higgins.
No.
Why not? Who's Mike Long?
Are we just talking receivers? We're talking tight ends? I'll
I
get back
feel-
to. Give me a couple minutes.
I feel
I could see Mike being like Njoku.
No,
Guy who gets unnecessarily vertical a lot of the time.
disagree. I feel
Or
like
unnecessarily like ends up off the ground for catches he doesn't really need to a lot of the time.
Yeah,
That's true.
I feel like you have to put Mike Long in a brick wall position because Mike Long put on his thing. Mike Long equals brick wall.
It's true.
Yeah.
So he's why it's on.
That was a save.
Dude, he absolutely just
threw
dude's
him.
250 pounds, and he just absolutely just launched him
That
in
was
his face.
disgusting. That was so cool.
God.
All right.
Well, like,
So I
what-
got, moving on to the game we actually recorded.
yeah,
that we
the
all
game
saw.
nobody gives a shit about. I guess we could talk about it.
1-0, baby.
Ouch.
1-0.
You want to start?
There you go.
Biggest takeaways from the beginning is one, Kevin crushed the analysis of this beforehand. Again, it was really interesting listening to this your first podcast after playing all the games because you absolutely nailed what would happen.
Was
It's-
Kevin right on everything?
No, he's not right on Scott's game.
Correct.
No,
No,
was
no,
right.
No one was right on Scott's game.
Your analysis of the team was pretty alright. You thought our defense would be good and we would take a while to figure out what's going on offense.
And
that was
throw it away a
correct.
lot.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
would
it took
have?
a long
Who would
time
have
to
thought
figure
the
it out.
literal professional would have a good take.
Yeah.
on an ultimate podcast. That's out of left field. So think about the game. I think one, never playing indoor for most of my team and playing with walls actually made a big difference. Because in the first half, when I was going back, Kevin and I are the only ones who actually watched the full tape, which is funny. We had 8 throws out of the back of the end zone in the first half alone. And then we had 6 more in the second half. And where normally in Ultimate, that's actually not a bad play, is to, like, if your defender's in front of you, just float it to the back of the end zone, let a guy chase it down. That's just not a play anymore. And we really turned over the disc a ton just mixing that up.
Especially with the walls round at the corner, so
Yeah,
you have no
that
back corner.
absolutely
Yeah.
killed us.
Yeah.
It's so rough.
Defense, we had a couple of breakdowns where Matt, not to throw you under the bus, but Matt Shanik mid-game decided to switch the force without telling anybody. And we kept, like, talking as a team, like, why do we keep getting broken? What's going on? The disc somehow gets the wrong end of the field. And, like, 4 plays later, Matt's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I switched to guarding him forehand because he doesn't throw as strong. And I was like, oh, well, that explains a lot. So that really hurt us. And
Did he set a different force the entire time?
just him alone.
He decided he cowboyed it, and he was like, "I'm gonna force him backhand."
Yes.
In the first half.
Because he was guarding Luke, and he
That
realized
is
Luke...
outlandish.
Yes, and that really hurt because the disc kept getting to the break side, and we were all just baffled. We're like,
Matt-
how does the disc keep getting over here?
Matt, if you're listening, that fucks your entire team. That
Yes,
is
it really
bad.
does.
Because
That's
if you're forcing backhand, all your defenders upfield
are on the wrong side.
are on the wrong
Yes.
side, and that means
Every
they're getting
throw's open.
free throws.
Doing
Absolutely.
the wrong force when your team is doing a force
Yeah.
is more detrimental than your entire team not forcing it all.
Yes.
Because
Correct.
it's just the exact opposite. You give them a wide open throw.
So that killed us. We had several, I think I counted at least 4 or 5 points where the disc just went up the break side in about 3 seconds, and we're all just like, what just happened?
You gotta bust out the ruler in the next couple
Yeah,
weeks.
we went over.
Slap 'em on
we
the wrist
went.
a
We
bit.
went over a lot to explain how much that actually breaks down a play. So that really hurt. Having subs was not great. I look forward to having Dennis, and I look forward to having Dan. Just Jake who played. I don't know. You will never listen to this, but you're athletic. You can move really well. But there are just small things about learning the game that help so much. One, don't stop mid-cut. There were several times we'd throw to him, and he would just stop thinking he wasn't open, and the disc would be thrown over. Or defensively, he had a really hard time on which side to stay on this guy. So there's just a couple things we need to clean up. I actually felt better about the game after watching the tape than I did during the game. Because it was very frustrating. We went up a point. We traded points till it was like 5.
The whole first half, until like the last 5 to 6 minutes, you were up a break the entire time.
Yes. Yeah.
You got the first break, we turned it, I threw it out the back, I threw it a little bit too high for Johnny to jump up and grab it. I didn't think it was that high, but it was a little high for him, I guess.
It was.
It's pretty high.
I'm watching it. That shit was.
He came pretty
Up
close
there.
to almost grabbing
I
it
was gonna say,
though.
if he waited it feels like if he waited half a second, he was there.
Because I was watching.
I think he got scared of the ball, though,
Yeah.
too.
I was
It's
definitely
hard.
watching the clip, during the tape of it, and he got pretty close to that.
Speaking of Johnny being afraid of the wall, I don't think that man's afraid of the wall.
Well,
I would.
Wojo sure isn't.
Could I pose a over under real quick to the group here
Who's gonna
on
break
Johnny plowing into the fucking wall over the season?
Johnny's gonna break the wall.
I was gonna say who's gonna be the
think
person
so.
to break the
Because
wall?
it was either 2 or 3 times. Like I'm not even like talking about me watching the coverage, but like when I was keeping stats, 2 or 3 times I watched John just truck into the wall. So in one game.
No, he's gonna do what Kevin did and put his foot on the wall to stop himself, and it's just gonna right
Straight through.
Yeah.
right through.
Yeah, he's got a couple pounds on Kev.
See Wojo doing it too.
Put him out.
Just shoulder through it, hockey style.
So any guesses on the over under?
Oh, over under. I would say you're good for at least 1 a game.
How many games are we playing?
Yeah. So
So 11 left. I say over under 11 and a half.
Whoa, I would say 2
I think
or 3.
2.
He's
I would
already
say
at 2.
25.
He's already at 2
Okay.
or 3.
Okay. So over under 22 and a half.
Okay.
I would go over.
Yeah, I'm taking
I think
the
it's be
over.
close to 25 at
yeah,
least.
I'm taking the over for sure.
Is someone going to calculate this?
No.
We'll add it to
I don't
it.
do it every time. It'll be over.
We'll add it to the stat thing. Wall.
Yeah, well, that
Wait,
wall
wait,
entirely
the-
different.
the
Just-
ol-
just wall.
that column is only there for Johnny.
It's- Head, yeah. That'd be good. But I guess it was brought up, and it is part of this game. So,
Oh yeah.
was Kevin in or
Kevin's
out?
stealing a point from us.
The drama of the.
All right.
Let's preface it with saying it did not affect the outcome of the game.
No.
No,
With
not at all.
what
Which is why it's
Scott
perfect to bring up now.
with what Scott said in the beginning,
And what I've been saying for the last 2 weeks.
Well,
What-
say
what-
say what you've been saying.
So what I've been saying is that the disc is out if it hits the wall on its own.
Sure.
The disc is out if you try to run up a wall, like you're trying to catch a deep ball or something in baseball. And the disc is in if you catch the disc and then hit the wall.
yeah. So what I took away from that when he said it was if you could have still been in.
That is not what I said. That's, I think, even a little
I-
more.
That's
Did
what
you
I
say that?
restricted.
I said that, yeah.
I
You said
definitely
that.
remember someone
Yeah,
making
I
that
definitely said
distinction.
that.
I think that's even a little bit more restrictive than what I said.
Yeah, that is more
Right.
restricted.
And I still stick to that though, because
Which-
I think it's hard to do in like this context, because almost every time that's going to happen, you're like forward bidding,
Yeah.
which you're not going to do into a wall because you'll
Right.
die.
Right.
But like, there's still those circumstances like Kevin's, or actually we had one that was really close that Josh had. It was obviously in, and we did a point, but like he basically used the wall to not fall down. Had there not been a wall there, he would have fallen backwards,
Yeah.
just because he was like off balance and it was kind of deep a little bit.
But was he
clearly caught it.
planted?
Yeah, he clearly caught it and then was
Then
able
he
to
fell
get
into
feet
the
in
wall.
and then like
Well,
fell at the wall.
Kevin's was he jumped
straight
through
into the
yeah,
wall.
The
yeah.
way
The way I jumped,
hold
though,
on,
I
hold
jumped
on.
for a brace.
Yeah.
I knew I was going straight into the
Well,
wall.
yeah, just
I had to
hold-
brace myself.
Hold on. What I'm saying though is, regardless of what you're jumping for, I watched it today, and I made it up to that point where I watched you jump for it. I didn't see you toe it in. I watched it at a quarter speed, like I frame by framed it because I was like, this is
But
important.
toe it in shouldn't matter.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is if the wall
Sure.
wasn't
Let me
there,
finish.
my foot wouldn't have been out like this.
Because then he's
And
doing
my-
But
Yeah,
he's,
but
but
if
he's
he's
saying,
back-
does that matter?
I'm
Because
saying
you
that-
clearly jumped in a way.
I'm saying that the wall is there.
So you're not allowed to
and we
protect
play
yourself?
with the wall there. So that
Okay, you
shouldn't matter of saying like, oh well, I jumped to stop the wall. Well, yeah, the wall's there, so you make your play based on the wall. So if you jump, grab the disc,
Slam into the wall.
hit into the wall, you would have been out of bounds.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's
if
true
I
either.
would've
Well,
jumped
regardless,
normal-
he didn't make contact with
normal
the
ultimate,
turf,
He just would have never have jumped.
and he hit.
Right.
That's the
He
difference.
would've just
Yeah,
caught it
yeah, he
and
would
then
he would
still
have
in.
ran through it if
But
it were
we're not
outdoors.
playing. We're playing in an arena.
Right.
There is a wall,
Yes.
and you have to take that into consideration.
Right.
Kevin jumps, grabbed the disc, flew into the wall. I think he's out of bounds.
So
Well, the rule
so
is-
here's my thinking. We're playing on a small field. So anything you can do to not make the field smaller, we need to do. And that rule makes the field quite a bit smaller in my opinion.
So what the rule is, what Scott said, is if you catch the disc and then hit the wall, you're fine as long as you catch the disc before hitting the wall.
Doesn't matter, would have been in outdoors or whatever. We're not playing outdoors. In indoor soccer, they can hit it off the wall all they want and play ricochet.
I say we do that. We
No,
we
disagree.
should be well, the wall ride.
Here,
I
my-
mean, it
my-
makes the field bigger. I'll give you
this is
that.
what we
It's a
talked
little
about.
bit different.
This is what we talked about yesterday in the car. We'll do that for the toilet bowl game. How about that?
yeah.
Fifth and sixth seed.
You're playing
Ricochet-
pick six, you're playing one bounce, you're playing ricochet.
Absolutely. And that game needs recorded.
All right, I might tank just for the toilet.
Sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
So fear not. If you're second last or last in the league,
You actually won.
you're gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a fun game. Pick six, one bounce, and ricochets will be fun.
Huge.
Wall
And
runs.
And I completely understand that that rule is not consistent with what the outdoor rules are, but we're not playing outdoor.
I like it that
Yeah.
it's black and white. It makes it so you don't have to argue, would he have caught it, would he have ran through it. If you catch the disc before it hits the wall, it doesn't matter.
The only argument where there would be like an argument is, did you use the wall to like assist with your catch? But even that's
But
a little more.
different.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
obvious.
completely
And that's yeah.
You kind of
But-
see if someone like hits the wall and then catches it.
So with the rule that you're liking, are you still thinking that he's in?
Yes, I would
He
say
caught
he
it
was
first.
in because
Okay.
he caught it first. Because
Okay.
that's like, so in theory, if I'm running to the end zone, I jump, catch it, slam into the wall, still 2 feet in the air,
Right.
I'm in, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
just
That's-
making sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as there's a concrete like decision on what it is, that's fine with me.
Tinetti?
Yeah, if you would have slammed into the wall and like abused that rule, like feel free to. You do it twice a game and then never again.
John, we're talking to you.
All I know is when I was doing that, I was like, my left shoulder still hurts from what I heard it lifting. I'm gonna hit this wall. This is gonna suck. Leg out.
Did anyone watch Johnny's hilarious halftime play?
Right at buzzer when he
No, it was
the worst travel I've
Yeah, the
ever
worst
seen.
travel. And he was then trying to argue that he tapped it. I was like, Johnny, there was like 3 feet between you and the ground. Like,
You never
what are you
tapped the
talking
disc.
about?
You never tapped the disc when you went out of the end zone.
Which
It
I
was never a
find,
tap.
by the way, absolutely hilarious. Because, Johnny, you tap the disc on
Every
single
play.
play you ever catch the disc on.
It's the
He catches the
funniest
disc
thing.
and taps.
No.
Like, you don't even
Catches it midfield, taps it,
And the
looks
one
for a
time
swing.
that he had to, he
Or just not travel, because like if this was the end zone line, he went out probably 4 feet further as he's throwing it backwards.
Yeah, no.
The whole thing was hilarious.
So we got a camera for this podcast. So let me
That's
do
true,
a
yeah.
real quick.
Well, tell me, no, we can literally bring up the actual.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
no.
with
If
the
you
thing
could
is,
throw
like,
it on the green screen behind,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work. I won't ask you to do that. I'll just
No,
I'll do my
we're-
little
it's
skit
already-
here.
It's
So
already done.
Yeah.
It's already done.
you got
It's
a
already
catalog.
done.
he time travels.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gracious. But John, he literally gets the disc and he goes. The most egregious thing I've ever seen.
We threw it the other way, first of all.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't even forward.
threw
He
it
was
wasn't even
sprinting
forward.
this
It
way,
was behind.
and then
No,
went
he just
that
chucked
way
it
while
backwards.
still sprinting forward.
As he
He
was
caught
running
it,
forward.
He caught it. He slipped. He just ended on his ass, and he had to get up and get to the end zone line because he wasn't in and try and throw it that way. But you have to tap it before that.
Yeah.
If you
Credit where
don't-
credit's due, though. It was a fairly accurate pass that was.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Like
he would
that.
have tapped it, that would have been fantastic. But he did.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely.
You got a
You gonna try to
timestamp
find
for
it?
it, Matt?
It's 11:25.
Well, that's Kevin.
11.
Oh, you got a time.
11:25
that's
is
sorry.
Kevin's
Yeah,
thing,
that's
yeah.
Kevin's.
So,
I definitely have to talk to my team about delay of game.
It would have to
Because
be
you could
right
have
by
rolled it
halftime.
on us so many
It's
times.
not that. So what are we? Can I get a?
because you guys were
Thought
mentioning
on-
that when we were playing, I think there still has to be some time.
Yeah, but there were a lot of times where it was like
Yeah,
a solid
a little too far.
45 seconds,
Yeah.
or even close to a minute. Where
That's
we're
a
like,
lot.
okay,
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
are we doing right
Yeah.
now?
Well-
And that's how tight are we calling this? Because I know in pickup we
Were we
weren't really
talking-
calling a lot of things, but like, where are we with like freedom to call picks, freedom to call travels? Because there were several times I wanted to call it
So
travel.
on that,
That's
Travel
everything.
yeah, that is
Call
cranked up.
everything.
fouls,
Good to
picks,
know.
travels,
Absolutely.
Because I know
League-
once you heard you in camera yelling,
Yeah.
"That's another travel."
Yeah, no, absolute league encourages calling
Everything.
everything.
So were you talking about calling delay of game of like Luke coming to pick up a disc or
Both at sometimes because
before we were pulling?
Luke was pretty upset with me because I like pre-stalled him one time, but I was like, dude,
Yeah.
there are several times where you're just like
Oh.
chilling by the disc
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Waiting for
Yeah, I
entire
gotta
offensive set.
100% have to talk to him about that because you cannot stand over a disc.
Yeah,
Especially
If you
with
stand over a disc, delay of game, 3, 2, 1, stall 1.
it's literally
Okay.
yeah.
That's
perfect.
the,
'Cause
that's
I
the
was
delay
like-
of game call, and there were many times I just saw Luke standing over a disc, and I'm like, God, you can't do that.
The way
Yeah.
people get around that is
Is
just
you-
like
you wander.
moseying around.
You mosey
and,
around.
yes, or like walk
But-
really slowly up because you're not
Yeah.
required to run to
Exactly.
the disc by any stretch.
But back to the thing with like on the line, like after a point, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
taking too long after a point. I think that we should probably keep it maybe a little bit on the long side because I think one of the reasons that we were doing it a bunch was like recovering. Because if you think about it in like a actual game, you have the 70+ yards to walk and chill. Another line comes on, and then the time starts. So like,
I think in our game, the only like really long time we had was when there was only me and someone else on. I think it was me and Higgy on the line. We're like, where is the rest
where's
of
the rest
our?
of our team right now?
We just scored a point. Where's the rest of our team? Everyone just walked off, and we're like, what's going on?
Could we do something where it's like if both teams are on the line and you don't pull in 15 or 20 seconds, you get it at midfield?
Well, one of the things you have to do with that is you have to have a timekeeper for that. Then.
You could just
I
like
think you can look
stall
at
or
the-
count stall or yell. as
Well,
long
no,
as you
someone
hear each other.
outside has to be a timekeeper.
There's
which
literally a
is
point
rough.
in there where I'm the only person on the line. The disc is on the ground. I flick it with my foot and catch it, and then I point at the camera, and there's still nobody even near me on the line, and I'm just standing there, chilling.
My
My
whole
whole
team
team
just
literally
walked off.
just yell time and then look at the
I'll pull it
in-game
if I
clock.
can.
That's true. We do have a clock behind
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Gabe wants to call in.
Yep.
If
Yeah, he's even like texting me too.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
eager,
Tell
so-
him to call in then.
Yeah, we're calling him.
Is he on Discord? We could have him join the Discord.
Wait, should we do that? Let's
Is
just
that easier?
whatever gives
just
better
call
audio.
I mean,
Which probably would be Discord, but
I think
we're
Discord.
calling.
yeah, but I feel like this will be
Hello?
tough. Yo, what up, Gabe?
How's it going, TJ?
All right,
Say something one more time.
Oh, wait, here. Let me get that out of the way.
Can you hear me on the podcast?
That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to find out.
It looks like it.
Give us a sec.
Looks like it's picking it. We're gonna figure it all out.
Here, wait, yeah.
Technical
Gabe, you
difficulties.
say only you say something, Gabe.
My team is going to win the tournament this year.
For anyone who didn't see, Mike Long just hung up on
Would
Gabe.
Discord work better, Mike?
What was that?
Would Discord work better for audio?
But
Oh, probably. It doesn't matter, honestly. I think that was
That was fine.
that probably sounded good.
There was-
Is
okay.
that the penny jar?
Yeah, that's the swear jar.
That's awesome.
That is pretty great.
And, so, yeah, for anyone who's listening and feels like wasting some
Do you want me to
time
put it in
and
there?
counting how many times we've sworn,
Nobody's gonna do that.
what? You never know.
It's
You
one
never-
of the 4 people that
No, I
listen to
do.
us.
I do know.
Do you want me to put it in
You'd
there
be
and have it
shocked.
echo?
Dude, there's literally 40 views on the
It
podcast.
might
There's
be way loud.
80.
It might be
There's
like 82 now.
81.
80? That
I
makes
checked-
0 sense.
I checked when we
That's right.
started.
That makes 0 sense.
Because I think YouTube counts.
Actually, I don't want your phone to get busted.
navigate
Loading
to
the page.
Drops in there.
So if you started and then went to do something else and then started again, I think that would
All right.
count too.
You're
I'll
back.
take 80.
Mike Long just
Yeah, but
didn't like your comment.
I think more
What?
people listen than you think.
Call the number I'm texting you on.
Oh, what?
aggressive.
How did
Going
you?
back
Kill
to-
time.
Okay.
Crush the analysis on James as well.
Oh, him
I'm
just
I'm
not being able to
complimenting you
use-
way too much in case because you beat me.
Not
But,
like
like-
being able to use his like
Kinda
height to his
blowing the
advantage.
false-
Yeah, so I haven't played with James in 2 years. James, if you're listening to this, I apologize. But I haven't played with him in 2 years. And he was a very different player 2 years ago. Because not only could he use
All right,
his size,
this should
but he
be better
could move
because,
in the right direction.
Gabe, shut up real quick.
I thought this was going to take longer.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, continue.
Pat was
I
making a
thought he'd
comment.
be able to find positioning better than he did. Where now, unless he's in perfect positioning, it was very hard for him to make a play on the disc, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
a bummer because I just tested that probably 4 times where I just wafted him something, and he ran basically did a loop around the end zone and then tried to make a play on the disc. So that's something we're going to talk about as well.
I definitely thought just because playing with him for the last
Couple months.
couple months from before he left to when he come back, it's just he didn't use his size to his advantage.
James, you're 6'6".
You're-
I lied. You're 7 foot.
Post up.
He's a big dude. He can jump over everyone.
Get the fuck up there.
He just needs to get his library card a little bit, and then we'll be good.
That's game 1.
All right, Gabe. Welcome from Mexico, the first international caller on our podcast. Welcome.
This podcast moves quick.
I know, right?
Should we open the phone lines so people can call in?
No, that happened right now.
Yeah, it's good to be on the podcast. Glad to finally be able to put some respect on my team's name.
All right,
Yeah.
Gabe.
Yeah,
Gabe, I don't.
fuck your team.
Yeah, you got dumpstered
Gabe-
last week.
Gabe, we've been respecting your team for the last hour and 5
It's
minutes.
true.
That's true.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, I in Mexico listened to the first episode of the podcast today and yesterday, and yeah, just heard we were going to be the last place team, the 5th place team, and then I thought
No,
we
no,
came out
you
with
second
a
last
good,
place.
18-5 win in week 1.
All right, Gabe. I gotta ask you to talk about something. Tell me what
right.
I want to know in your thoughts. What your team did right, what your team did wrong, where you want to improve, what you talked about at halftime, all this.
Yeah.
I think the reason I picked my team, and I think we really did well, was our defense. I mean, we gave up 5 points in 50 minutes.
6 points.
We did, did great on that. I think our finishing was really good, and just the aspects we need to work on are our stupid throwaways and our stupid drops. I had 3 drops where I thought I was going to run into the wall in the first half, and I think I had 2 throwaways as well. So I think we really honed it in. That's what our halftime talk was about. Making smart decisions with the disc, and it paid off well.
Gabe's definitely.
I think your second half was worse than your first half. So how would you attribute that to your halftime talk?
Scott's reaching here.
Oh, dude,
Scott interrupted me. I was gonna say
I think
something.
we took the foot off the gas a little bit come second half.
sure.
Didn't want to show the playbook out to the other teams for the scouting.
Okay. Do you have a playbook?
No, but it's in the works right now.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a
So,
playbook, and my
yeah.
playbook did not happen at all. It only happened once.
Ooh, you're not worth the playbook.
Yeah.
No, we tried to run it. It just didn't run.
Literally, the best part of it was
We
when
got to
Kevin
do-
was talking about this, and we got into like where you guys were pulling the disc, and we were gonna get it, and we're like, okay, this play's happening. And then I get into the front of the stack, and Kevin's like, "Hey, cut!" And I'm like, "Where?"
I was like, great.
It wouldn't have worked. Like whoever was handling at the time did not do what they were supposed to do. Like,
We
the
did
duck-
not.
like, the
We
cut
did
dump
not
didn't happen.
run my play at my
No.
pull play at all. Did not run. It only ran once, and it worked once, and that's where I got that crazy snag from you.
Where you jumped in the wall, or where
No,
you
like in
slid?
front. In front.
Oh,
of
where
you.
I was a second away.
That crazy snag. That was the only time.
Hey,
that the
let
play
her
was
call her,
actually-
Barry.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah,
we have the
yeah.
dude from Mexico on the line.
Right, this
Oh.
man's on the fucking beach drinking
So you
margaritas.
interrupted me. So Gabe, you say you were afraid of the wall, right?
Very much afraid of the wall.
Coward.
He's not like Johnny or Joe.
It's true.
I mean, I think I'll grow to be more comfortable with it, but it's
Yeah.
tough seeing that peripheral vision. You know, you got like nice wall right at you. So I had 2 drops early, but I think I got used to it. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the regular season.
Oh.
Gabe, I really appreciate your like actual sports coach / sports player responses.
Yeah.
They're extremely
Pretty
That's what
solid.
I'm here for.
It's like we actually called a real sports
yeah,
analyst.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get paid the big bucks for nothing.
No, yeah, definitely 3 of Dustin's drops were me being scared of the wall and not even touching the disc. I made the vet move so that they went on his stat sheet. Gabe, the less experienced player, made the mistake of touching the disc and taking those on his stat sheet.
Absolute idiot.
Gabe does have the best plus or minus of the whole league right now.
Really?
What's his?
I think he's at like +9, +10.
Holy shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Pop.
Yeah, it was a good first game.
So that happens when you completely blow out the other team with like
When you score
15
18
points.
Yeah, I would,
Someone
hate
has
to
to
be the
have the
opposing
stats.
team there.
I'd be
Yeah, I would suck.
Hey,
So-
I'd be like +8 if my team didn't drop all the shit in the end zone.
Anyway, Gabe. So with your game, going into like the start of your game. What was going through your head? What was going through your head with your team? What were we talking to them about?
A little bit of nerves on our end. You know, as you can tell by the early drops and the early turns, I think the first point lasted like 3 minutes, and the second point lasted like 5 minutes. You know, we have some newer players to the scene. You know, it's Sammy's first Winter League. I think it's Becca's second Winter League. I think to the best of my ability that it's Sam Smartnick's first Winter League too. So a lot of up and coming players. But we really got those nerves under control and just played our game, which is smart frisbee.
Yeah, talk about a fucking confidence booster.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, Gabe, 2 things. 1, how tall is Becca?
I would say 5'9", 5'8".
You don't think she's
Is
taller
that
than that?
Scott's
I mean,
reaching again.
She had like 4 or 5 inches on Angel.
Yeah, no, she was getting the better of that matchup for sure.
Yeah, she had 5 of our team's points. She leads our team in points right now.
Good for her. And was there anything on your team that surprised you this week, player-wise? Anyone who popped off and did unexpectedly well in offense or defense? Or even just
I would
effort
have
and
to
camaraderie?
say, 1, Elliot put the clamps on Dustin on defense. I was a little nervous going into that matchup, but he really shut him down. And then I would say the same for Sammy. I've been very optimistic on him, which is why I took him so early in the draft. But yeah, he delivered on defense and offense. Anthony did great on defense. Becca leads our team in points. She scored 5. That was a huge confidence booster for our team. yeah, everyone really played well. Even Sam had 4 assists, I think, which was unexpected from my end. And,
He was slinging it a bit, especially towards the end.
yeah.
You're letting up the gas, but you're still letting Sam sling it.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I was trying to, just play smart frisbee, and he threw back-to-back 60-yard bombs.
Yeah.
So Gabe, let me ask you real quick. So did you? All right. So two questions. Did you come into the first week with any offensive plays, defensive plays? Did you set an offense or defense?
We ran a vert stat. So I came in kind of messing around with if I wanted to run a 2-handler with a vert, 2-handler with a hoe, or a 2-1-2 kind of offense. I wanted to see how each one kind of worked. And then on defense, nothing's really drawn up. I think we're the best man-to-man defense team in the league.
Okay.
And we'll probably stick with that all season long. But yeah, we ran a vert for 3 plays, and we ran a hoe for 1 play, but nothing much that I like too much.
Okay, and that second. So I lied. I have 3 questions. Second question: do you find it offensive that Scott thought, "Hey, I can just take my team that I drafted and go play pickup frisbee and beat the shit out of Gabe"?
I think you're putting words in my mouth.
I don't know about that,
I
Chief.
think that was more of a
Those
summary.
sound pretty accurate.
No, I mean, it was... So, obviously, I didn't hear week 1 of the podcast until after we played week 1 of our game. So, I was kind of, didn't know too much going into the game. And I thought we would win by 5 or 6 points. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a blowout. But, yeah, it was good to listen to the podcast and hear how slept on our team is.
Yeah, I was really surprised by both the Sams and by Rebecca. You and Elliot were excellent as expected, but everyone else in your team was really... Oh, and Anthony. I was really surprised by Anthony. He was making some really good reads in the end
by
zone.
literally everyone on the team.
I
Because along
talked
with
up
everyone that
Anthony.
Same.
Yeah.
along with everyone that
Yeah,
said, Tim
I
also
think-
showed up and
I think we had a winning matchup on every end of that game. I wouldn't say, on a normal day, but everyone was firing that day, and
We're missing
I
Matt
think
Ferris.
all of our matchups were winning.
Nick Chubb.
So,
Nick
Gabe,
Chubb.
I got a question for you.
Hey, hold on. I got my third question.
Go for it.
Having listened to the first podcast and seeing that literally every single person in the room shat on my team, just as they did yours, but worse, are you surprised to see the outcome of my game?
That's a stupid question.
That was.
Yeah,
I
that
have
was
one
a
quick question.
give me a compliment.
TJ.
Yeah, I'm trying to stroke myself here, all right?
For
We
losing.
discussed this last time. He's a narcissist.
Everybody discredited Gabe's team and you won, but we lost, and everybody predicted us to lose. Stroke me. That's literally what I got out of that statement.
That's what I heard.
All right,
too.
Gabe, stroke Dan right now.
I'm ready. I'm gonna put my
Does
hand in my
stroking someone
pants
count
and go.
For a coin in the...
All right. No, let's ask a real question. So, having just kicked the shit out of us, oh, nice throw.
I made it in.
How would you expect us to fare against the minions?
Hey, that's not our team name.
Oh, it isn't.
That's what
Yeah, that's
I think is going to decide where this Winter League goes. I think Scott's team still beats Dan's team by 3 or 4 points next week.
Do you think that not having Matt Ferris mattered, or do you think you would have kicked the shit out of us regardless?
I mean,
It 100%.
Matt Ferris was a 5th-round pick,
I
correct?
think we think it mattered. I don't think it mattered as much as we want to give it credit.
Yeah, Gabe. He was like,
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5.
Okay.
I would say maybe 3 more points in your favor if Ferris plays. But if Ferris is playing, that means, you, Walshy, and Dustin are sitting more points. So
Yeah.
if you needed the fresh legs, maybe, but otherwise, I think, you have a better player on the field.
I just think having a 6'4" guy in or around the end zone would have made a big difference on a lot of those kind of prayers that were put up.
He missed the-
Sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
So, Gabe, I got a question for you.
Dude, you're murdering.
Dan, stop it!
Someone take
You're
it.
murdering.
Think about the headphone users.
You're murdering the audio.
All right.
Hey,
All right, Gabe, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, coming off this win, has your group meet been more explosive than it has in the past, and you still think Sam Smartnick is still here to try and find a Frisbee girlfriend?
Wait, is that which Sam is that?
So yeah,
Number
Not the
one,
one that was
It's
at the bar.
our group me
Ex-Sam.
was explosive the night of. I think our group me is, really embodied the energy of our team. And we're finally starting to rally together as a team on the field and off the field in the group me. And then second, I think our whole team's just focused on winning this Winter League. I don't think we don't care about trophies or, Frisbee girlfriends or whatever. We're here to win.
Because I remember early in the season you were telling me about that. You're like, after the draft, you were like, no one's replying in the group me. I think Sam Smartnick is just trying to find a Frisbee girlfriend.
Yeah, I was wrong on both of those. So I'm very happy to be wrong on both of those.
Wait, so Gabe, now I have a question. What do you think the biggest weakness of your team is?
Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, I agree with the standpoint from week one of the podcast, where if you can shut down me and Elliot, we don't really have a primary handler.
But good luck with that.
But yeah, I mean, good luck shutting down one of us, if not both of us.
All right, time to break Gabe's ankles.
Hey, kind of similar to Dan. If you can't get the disc, what's gonna happen?
Well, there's
I'm gonna
the
get
key difference there being one person versus two people.
I am two people.
Okay, it's way harder
I'm
to shut down.
schizophrenic.
You could probably tell someone, hey, just be really obnoxious to Dan, don't play offense, and just switch out whose job that is, and it'll have a decent chance of working. But you can't do that for two people.
Wait, what the hell did you just say?
focus.
Just
fully-
focus fully on defending you, expend 100% of their energy towards doing that.
Oh yeah, no.
You can't do that for two people.
I'm gonna trounce them.
Okay.
You want to make bets on yours and Gabe's game, or
You want to make a bet with Gabe?
Yeah, when it comes to when we play, for sure. I'm willing to make a bet every week of this podcast.
Yeah. Who do you play next?
Me.
Scott.
That's
Yeah.
next week though.
Yeah.
Gabe, when do you come back from Mexico?
Free dub.
I come back from Mexico this Saturday.
Oh, perfect.
So if you have are you having a podcast next Monday, even though we don't play Frisbee?
Yeah,
we're gonna keep. We're not gonna do predictions and stuff. We're gonna keep that for next Monday.
All right, I will be on the podcast next Monday then.
Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Mexico?
Nope.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go get some tacos. Call it Taco Thursday and call it a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no turkey or stuffing for me.
Smart.
Nice.
All
Well,
right.
final question before we... Or do you have somewhere to be, or you want to hang out here for a while?
I got maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. So one more question then. Something we asked all the captains who were present last week, to both you and to Patrick. Describe your 2021 Macedonia Indoor League Frisbee team in one word.
It's tough.
Are you gonna cut this out, Mike? Do I have 20 seconds to think about this, or do I
I
gotta
mean,
give you a
no,
live answer?
you can think about it. We can just talk over you right now. What do you guys all have for breakfast? Anything good?
Dude, I have cereal.
Ooh,
Cereal,
Velveeta crackers.
I had some pancakes for breakfast.
It's the way to go. It's for real though.
I just eat cereal every day.
There's
Yeah,
regular
I was thinking
pancakes,
about it.
You have blueberry.
Like, do you have Kodiak cakes?
You
Ever
make a
done those?
dish.
They're
Not
like
about washing that.
they're like protein pancakes. It's like a protein pancake mix that you can make.
Fine. It goes in the sink. I
Sounds
did it
really
in like
good.
a week. It's fine.
I have
a lot of bowls.
I
have a week worth.
Usually on
Breakfast
breakfast
is my
I can wait till the weekend.
I will wake up early just to make a good breakfast.
Dave, it's taking you a
Have
little
eggs
while
and
to think
pancakes
of
or whatever
one
it is.
word.
All right, I got it. I didn't want to interrupt you guys' breakfast.
Oh, no, you're
talk,
good.
But if I had to pick a word, I think I would go with explosive.
Explosive.
That's a good
I
word.
feel like you say that every year.
You know,
We're
you
explosive.
blink and we score 3 points on you.
I'm surprised it took you
or,
30
you know,
seconds to come up with the word.
You turn
explosive.
around and Elliot's 8 steps in front of you, and he's got an easy catch for a score. I don't know, I just like that word explosive.
Sure.
Pat, what would be the one word for your team?
I mean, Paupers we named ourselves after so perfectly average ultimate players, but one word. Oof, I mean, I don't want to be negative for the whole season, so I got to come up with a little better. I think inexperience came to mind immediately, just because we had a lot of really silly mistakes the first week. but I'm gonna translate that to growing for this season. Is that what you said?
Growers.
Yes,
Oh,
here we go.
You're encroaching on some delicate territory here,
I don't know if
friend.
I want to be in the same
You're gonna
place.
get copyright suit.
If that's a good thing
I'm
or a
gonna-
bad thing.
I'm gonna drop the full weight of copyright law down on you.
Well, if it's anything like your game, will be okay.
Whoa!
I look forward to playing you guys, though. It'll be
Well,
nice.
well,
but yeah.
let me just say, after watching your game, I am not afraid of your team at all.
Damn.
All right, we'll see where it goes.
That's gonna be a serious bet for that week. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm gonna look Pat in the eyes on the fucking podcast and be like, my car.
We'll talk about that off cast.
It's okay, his car doesn't have brakes.
I was gonna say, what's that really worth though? Like,
Yeah,
just
my
the
car is
scrap?
a shit show.
Just the
It's
scrap.
a literal death trap. So.
Okay.
All right, Gabe, you got any closing comments for yourself?
I have one final question for Gabe.
oh.
Gabe has said he's here for 7 more minutes if he needs to be.
Oh, fair. Okay.
So having played against my team and seen everything that we have to offer, what would you do in my position?
You're trying to get outside coaching?
Just advice right now.
Well, it's interesting.
Sure.
No, I think it's legitimately interesting.
I think you guys took a lot of deep shots that you didn't need to be taking, and a lot of forced throws. You still have people that are playing like stall 10 summer league when we're on stall 7 winter league. So, come stall 4 or 5 when you've got the disc and people are just now starting to make their cut, it makes it a lot harder for your team. So yeah, if I were you, I would be focusing on shorter cuts, better cuts, and earlier cuts, and then just delivering on the throws. Not as many throwaways or drops.
Yeah, earlier cuts is one of the main things that I highlighted in my post-mortem of last week's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Who
for
had
that.
how many throwaways did Joey have, and how many throwaways did you have? If you have the stats.
Oh, well, that's
You're looking
that's
at the
actually
wrong
not.
person.
You're looking at the wrong person. Surprisingly, Kevin, give him the stats.
So all right, Gabe. How many throwaways do you think Scott's team has had as a whole? Give me a number.
12 maybe?
30.
Which, let me say,
30?
with 30 throwaways, the fact that you only scored 19 points really doesn't say much about your team.
Yeah, you fucking.
They had-
You guys are one to hang on to after this game.
There's gotta be something there.
Straws. Tons of straws.
Yeah, Gabe. They had 30 throwaways
That's not
together,
grasping at straws at all.
and that's
That's
not
my
even
team.
drops.
That's accepting how
Maybe
bad
you
my
guys are
team
playing
was.
like half good defense. That's literally like the bare minimum you could argue right now.
Half.
Yeah, maybe.
We turned the disc over and we stalled out long enough to turn the disc over probably again at the same point.
They had 30 throwaways and I think like 4 or 5 drops.
It's like one every minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah. No, I mean,
50 minutes.
I got to give a quick shout out to Kevin here
That sounds about right.
for calling it early in the season when Scott was going to pick Dustin. Yeah, Dustin's not a handler. 10 throwaways on Dustin's part, so got to be that color, that wide receiver.
I know the players in the league.
Shots
So,
fired.
That's what I thought too.
that's what I thought too. But then last week you said Dustin is going to be a handler.
Yeah, he was
He's
debating.
he's going to want to
be a
handle.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
He's
Big
going
emphasis on the
to
want.
want to be a handler.
Which I've been playing with Dustin a lot. What is like, because everyone's like, first round pick Dustin, first round pick Dustin. It's like, what, maybe it was just a bad game, but like, I haven't played him with him enough to know
So he
what
has
went wrong there. Or like, what is he?
He has a lot of throws. He likes to throw hammers. He can throw forehand. He can throw an inside forehand pretty well. He can throw a round backhand pretty easily. He's tall and he's athletic and he can jump very high and like outread people.
Moral of the story: Dustin's a good player.
But Dustin's a good player,
Dustin
except
seems like John
the
Inetta
biggest
only
thing
he
about
knows
him is he doesn't know when to not take shots. So when you're like Scott and tell him, hey, green light, take the shots, he's going to see something tiny, I can make this.
Okay.
Or if you reel him in, like rein him in, he can be a very good player.
Scott, you gonna draw up an offense in the next week, or do I have a freebie here?
I don't know.
I'm probably going to choose 2 or 3 things, send my team some videos, and we'll try to reach in
no
the
preach.
first 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This man's trying to play.
And kind of see what we have the most
little
success.
preview.
Not to interrupt, but we only have Gabe here for another
Yeah.
3 minutes.
All right,
or so.
Gabe. Give us your actual parting wisdom right now. What do you got?
Who do you play
My
next week?
imparting
Gabe?
wisdom is, since you guys all had your top 6 teams wrong,
Yeah, no.
Who's gonna finish
Give us your
number one in the
rundown. Give us
standings?
your prediction of the layout of the league. Like who's coming out on top. I mean, obviously you're gonna say yourself, but yeah, give us your top 6.
yeah. So obviously I'm winning, but I don't get the number 1 seed. Kevin takes the number 1 seed.
Okay.
We'll say 8-2. I'm a close second, 7-3. That leaves Pat's team at 6-4. TJ's 5-5. Scott's 3-7. And Dan goes 0-10.
0-10.
0-10.
Wow!
Oh my god!
Assuming
I would dap
week
you up
3
if you
doesn't
were
roll
here
around.
Like Higgy literally said that you lose every game until you make trades. I don't think we're making trades. Are we still doing trades? What are happening with trades? Are you trading?
We're not doing nearly as good a job.
Well, we got a couple more weeks till we figure that out, but odds are no because my team's fucking gangster. All right.
You should
Yeah.
win the game first.
What
before you do
was
it.
the score?
Pat,
of the game
shut the
before
fuck
you-
up. You watched my game. Jan threw. All right. I won that game.
I don't think Jan threw.
I didn't catch the last 5 minutes. so
Oh, you missed the last
I had to run to our game.
Well, I'm not okay. It's cruel of me to say Jan threw the game, but Jan played very off defense on his mark on universe point.
Lukewarm take. I threw the game.
Yeah, TJ literally
I
got
did
injured.
terrible and injured myself.
Yeah, the best player on their team was not there for the last 4
Yeah, no, I mean TJ's overrated as fuck. So,
Obviously,
I mean,
obviously.
So there's a question. I didn't end up getting asked through your game. So you ended up coming back in the last point, right?
Yeah.
Did TJ make a difference? in
No,
that
not
last
at all.
point?
I mean, I threw
hate to
2 or
interrupt
1 or
again,
2 passes,
but
but it
Gabe
was
literally
not
has
like
30
anyone could have
seconds
thrown those
left,
passes.
and he still needs to give his final
yeah.
words.
That's true. Yeah. All right, Gabe. Was that your final? You gave us the rank, and now give us I don't know, something you want to say. Tell the viewers how you feel.
I mean, wait, Gabe, how much more time do you have left?
I got another 3 minutes maybe.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
about
so
it.
give us your final words on the season. What did you? Do you want to go back and do some of the preseason analysis that we missed when Gabe wasn't here last week?
Such as what?
Like, what was your thought process when you were picking your team, Gabe? What were you looking for?
Yeah, what do you
did
think
you have
you're
anything in mind as far as an offense or a scheme, or were you just kind of, I'm going to pick the guys I like and then whoever's best after that?
So I kind of had a little plan. The goal was big defensive team, and then a lot of people that were like underrated, kind of new to Winter League, so that I could build a good team come end of the season. But then Dan made a huge mistake and didn't take Elliott, so I was kind of gifted Elliott, had to pick that up, and then kind of just kept the defensive plan after that.
Yeah, because honestly, Dan and Elliott could have been a wagon, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised because Elliot would be someone to listen to too.
Yeah, like
He would have been a prime give the disc back to Dan
Yeah, like
menu
no,
kind of
the
guy.
way-
your scheme well.
the way I phrased it in the first episode was like I built ego teams and I want myself to be only ego. Elliot, not an ego.
No.
At all. Holy shit, the dude is humble. Elliot, I love you. You're a great player. You're gonna get infinitely better. You're what, like 18, 17?
No,
He just turned 18 last week.
Yeah, no, you
like.
kid's an incredible prodigy. I think he'll go a really long ways if he keeps up with the sport.
No, I honestly think that Elliot.
Christina, what can I say?
She's really
Yeah,
nice.
that's my.
No, she's really nice and she's good at frisbee, but she's definitely no Elliot.
Okay.
I think if
She's
you went
really
Elliot
nice. I
Christina,
mean, like,
no one would be talking right now. If you went Elliot Christina, I think everyone would have said that's a genius pick, and you're fine.
Yeah, because you definitely could have got her in the second round.
When I picked Allison, yeah.
I would say 80% chance you could have got her in the second round and also had Elliot.
I would say
in the-
95.
And then you still would have had every
chance.
single first pick after that.
Listen, the draft
Yeah.
party was only as fun as it was because of me. All right.
That's fair.
You did add a lot of chaos
You
at
played
the
every
top of your
draft I
team
wrote up.
season,
So
potentially.
So
out of curiosity.
Oh, that's something we
Fun-
could talk about
fun-
next week.
fun-
Is your
final words by
potential
Gabe.
drafts
Gabe-
as to
Gabe's
opposed
so
to how
on
it
high.
I was
happened.
gonna say, do we want to do that tonight or do we
No,
want to do that
next week.
I can bring all my drafts next week and
We
actually
should-
show
we
how
should-
like Dan just shot them all.
We
down
should sign
instantly.
Gabe off and then
Yeah.
redo our season predictions and then probably cut it after that.
All right.
Well, you gotta think After Dark's coming. All right.
Okay.
We're already after dark. Like the,
yeah, we-
the,
yeah.
the cookie jar is out of the way now. Like it's.
All right.
Oh baby.
Hey, Gabe. Final
Yeah.
words, final sayings, whatever you want the listeners to hear.
The floor is yours.
Final words.
You can
If we
swear
have a
now
draft
too.
party
It's
this year,
after dark.
Someone besides Dan sets it up, and we actually have one. Elliott's winning the MVP. I'll take 2-1 odds on Elliott being the Heisman. So yeah. That's,
Wait. So 2 to 1
those are
odds.
parting
So if
words.
I bet you $10, you'll give me $20 if I win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'll put that on Dustin. I'll absolutely make you that bet. He's not winning MVP.
I might put that on Becca.
I'll take a friendly bet. If Elliott wins, $20.
Wait.
If Dustin wins, $20. Or you're just saying.
I was gonna say.
2-1
So
odds.
what's the bet? The bet is Elliott versus literally anybody else. Because I'll absolutely take that. That's free money, basically.
All right, $10. Yeah, 2-1 odds. Elliott wins the Heisman.
Versus anybody else. Yeah, I will make that bet.
Versus
Virtual handshake.
anybody else.
Okay, so wait,
That's
what
all right.
what decides this? Is it purely stat based or is it a committee?
I would
Does
say
not-
we vote.
Okay, so
same as last year.
neither of you are allowed on that committee now.
Well, I would
That's
say
true.
vote, just community vote. Like
Yeah,
all
okay.
42
Oh,
people
Full
vote.
on 42
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
It's like what we did last year. So
Yeah,
if you're listening to this podcast,
2 years ago, we didn't have
Uh,
we didn't have an MVP last year.
don't not vote for Elliott for MVP.
What are you looking at me for?
Hey, no one's gonna remember this.
Until they listen to it again.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go back and listen to
But
a
yeah.
2-hour podcast.
Smash
I
cut
am.
to
Okay.
like posting a highlight.
All right, Gabe,
Fair.
we love you.
All right, Gabe. We love you. Have
Thanks,
fun
sir.
in.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you guys next week.
Mexico.
Where in Mexico is he?
Oh, he's at
Later.
Camp.
Not Cancun.
No.
the other one.
I'm in
Cabo.
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 Quebo.
He's at Camp Carl.
All right.
All right.
Have fun. Bye, Gabe.
Bye, Gabe.
Getting touched. Oh,
And we're in after hours.
Exactly. That is true. We could
Yeah.
go right into after
All
hours.
right.
Is this?
Do you-
Yeah. Are we?
Or do we have like
Do
a
you
little
want to
closing?
redo the rankings, or do you just want to shoot this shit for 30 minutes?
I figure we could shoot the shit for a little
As-
bit.
Now that I really think about it, I think that after hours is like all the time.
I mean, yeah, but like,
Yeah,
There's
but
like
now,
more
stuff.
now
This is
I
where,
don't
like,
have to talk about the league. I can talk about, do you need a liquor license to
Right.
drive a limo because people drive in the back?
Then I say we go.
Whoa.
with what
Drink
Scott
in the
was
back,
saying.
not drive in the back.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm,
that's a great.
Then here, I say we backtrack.
There's
a bit,
probably
not after
laws,
hours.
and that's probably why they have to have the window.
Well, what about party
okay,
buses?
so can you drink in the back of a taxi?
They don't have
They have a wall.
which one?
Taxis do have
Right, right.
windows.
No, no,
I
the
definitely
wall-
do
Drink in
see
the back of a
movie-
cop
I
car.
don't think the wall matters. You can.
It might be a different kind of license. I don't think you can drive a
do it, why
limo
not?
with a regular car license.
Is it kind of like, I don't want to.
Not a CDL, but
Yeah,
like
not-
like
not a
something
CDL.
like that.
Actually, you,
You
don't.
know what? I
You
actually
don't?
think
My
that-
dad went into business with a limousine driver
No
for
way.
a while. Totally forgot about this. And you don't need any different license. Now, that was 12 years ago. So,
Yeah, I that
My
probably.
uncle
I don't think the laws on
Reason-
limousine driving have changed that much in the past decade.
Yeah.
Here's my thought
Yeah,
with
you can-
taxis. Like, so many people will probably hop in a taxi holding like a beer or like any other like alcohol.
I don't know about that.
And
I've definitely
think
seen it
that-
in movies.
Like, and I think that eventually the taxi
illegal.
driver is just gonna give up and be like,
Maybe.
yeah, sure,
For taxis or for like-
bring it in.
I looked it up
Continue.
because I had to.
Explain.
So-
what does it say? What
So
we got?
starting your own limousine business in Ohio. All right. So in Ohio.
this was in Chicago.
Requires a livery seating affidavit, a Class C commercial driver's license, or CDL. So
Oh.
Does it depend on what size or anything like that?
let me get into it. This was just a little Google thing,
It's
but
usually tonnage or
And
length. for
can you
CDL.
also drink in
I think
a?
it's usually.
You have to
length.
get like a liquor license or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the main thing is, I mean, getting drunk in a limo is half the fun of getting a limo.
Have you done that before?
No.
Is that also?
I've only ridden in a limo once.
Okay.
I thought that a liquor license was strictly to like
For
sell
selling it, yeah.
selling
Well, I know-
it,
I know.
not so that people can
Yeah.
drink.
I
it.
think I think a driver, like a party bus, has to have a certain type of license to let people drink in the back because you can
Yeah.
drink in a party bus.
I feel like I haven't read anything else, but I feel like to drink there, yeah, exactly. Like it's like private property almost, because you own that limousine and you're like, it's not like you're driving it. It's not like it's your car.
Right.
It's not like you could be drinking while you're driving it.
Because I know
So it's literally just like drinking
So
at
if
your
a truck
house.
driver literally drives, has a CDL, and then rents out the back,
Yeah.
The back of
we
his
could have a
truck.
party in the
I-
back of a truck.
I think so. That's what I'm saying.
because
Like,
I know in a party bus.
but now
like,
that'd
truck
be
drivers
pretty
don't own the truck. If they did,
Some
some
do.
do.
A
Some
lot
do.
of them do.
some do, and then probably.
so like a party bus, they don't have that like divider thing. You could literally just stick your head up and be like
Yeah.
right next to the
Yeah,
dude
that's true.
driving or the female driving and just talk to him.
Gender equality.
But you can still
Thank you,
drink.
Kevin.
Way to keep this. Yeah, way to keep this politically correct.
We do such
They,
a
them, etc.
It.
Whoa, that's
there.
dicey
Alright, chill,
territory.
chill.
But
Do we actually want to do or not redo our things, or we just? Totally
I feel like we
scrapping
should.
that?
I think
was gonna
that,
say
that
that.
might be a good next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
prediction
sure.
because
You
we
can
start off
yeah.
talking about the league for a second,
Okay,
and then we just got 2 hours of bullshit.
all right.
Because I also feel like we shouldn't redo like overall league projections. We could do projections for like the week that's coming, but I kind of like having just like only preseason
Yeah, just-
projections.
Okay.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
then maybe we could talk about has any team
Like improved and stuff like that. and what do you
improved?
think
Has
they're
any
gonna do
team
next
become
week?
made itself known that they're a fraud? Like that.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
thing.
that type of stuff for sure.
Fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, I gotta get my putting routine.
If it's anything like your
But
actual
you-
plan.
We should like pad that because that's just murdering the audio.
But
No, seriously, Dan, look at the audio. Look at every
Yeah,
time
how
you do
much
that,
you
that
peaked the-
big spike.
No,
Yeah.
when you were just lobbing him, there was spike.
It was-
spike.
like it
spike.
definitely,
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
yeah.
This is
When we're
gonna
listening,
be
it's gonna be
unlistened. We
terrible.
need to get like
No,
a
which is
like
why I
a
like it.
clause
Or
in
Mike's
there
gonna
or
have to do
something.
actual editing and like reduce the whatever.
I'm not reducing shit. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are just
Going in.
people are gonna
Like
get
my,
ear raped, and that's what
That's a
it
good
is.
point. They have to be ready for it.
No,
Fair.
my goal is to just bump up the audio if it's too quiet. If it's too loud, then yeah, like
Tough luck.
Oh well.
putting a disclaimer.
Ears are
Instead of
gonna be
timestamps,
pierced.
we're gonna put in timestamps of hey, ear
Dan started
your
throwing
ear's gonna
pennies.
get the ball here.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to-
John. We're gonna add your timestamps, all right?
Yeah,
Fucking-
exactly for loudness.
Well,
I'm really excited for the video though. I feel like Mike's gonna do some fun stuff with like what's going on right here. You
There's
know
gonna
what
be
I
a
mean?
giant
like,
So,
just some of this, some of
He's
like,
putting
some-
stick right there.
something's
I
got
asked
going
him-
on right
I
here.
asked
You know?
Mike, I'm like, can we be on a beach?
No, so I didn't want to say this in front of everyone, but we're probably not gonna do anything with the green screen because the lighting in here is complete shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the shadows is gonna fuck it all
Mhm.
up.
That's good.
No, that's fair.
That's a good point.
But at the
It's a lot
very
of work
least,
for you,
like
too.
where it's like clear, we can at least like throw up the video and
Something
stuff.
like that. Yeah.
Like Johnny's Travel.
Yeah, like Johnny's travel.
Oh, yeah,
if
big
like
one.
Kevin was in or not, but like
Well, that's just based on the rules, but yeah.
yeah.
I like that.
I got like 10 minutes before I should probably go study for my final tomorrow.
Yeah.
Were you still finals? I thought you were done.
No.
Oof.
One tomorrow, 2 after Thanksgiving, and then 2 presentations.
When are you
after
finished
that.
with
Yeah.
school?
When
Yeah,
I finish school completely,
Yeah.
Or at least like your
first
your
week of December, I'm done with the semester. I
Okay.
should be done next semester unless I pick up a job that I'm interviewing for tomorrow.
Okay. What's the? We were actually talking about what's your plan with like job?
So I have a job interview I'm going to tomorrow for running the urban agricultural program in Akron, which would be sweet. So I'd run like 4 or 5 different urban farms and work with like 3 or 4 local restaurants and supplying them fresh produce. And I would run that program and then run a bunch of different, like a bunch of schools come out and you work with them. There's a couple different.
Ooh,
Like
slave
there.
labor. Love it.
Would that be with the city of Akron or not
Yeah,
the
City
University?
Akron
Okay.
with a couple different like companies that have invested into it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a community
Schmucker's
improvement
one of
program. No, Smuckers
Okay.
is not actually one of them. But that would be an awesome job to start off with. There's
Yeah,
a lot of really nice
that's cool.
connections. The people I would work with, I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Very cool. Mike, I do think the video might have like just died or something. It gave me,
I did hear that
It
too.
gave me
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then, so. But
So I ducked underneath that for absolutely no reason.
well, going forward you have to make a face, but then coming back you gotta duck. Because they can see you get up and like come towards it, which is fine. But coming back, it's just like bam, back of the face.
That's cool. So he was saying that you're going to work on like your family's farm.
I thought
your family has a farm.
So I have a rescue farm. I mean, that's like the pipe dream is I make enough money to actually do that someday. But so I started this when I was 13. I work with the state to take an injured and abused. This is like an interview now.
Yeah, exactly.
I take an injured and abused farm animals from court cases, and then we take them out of the state's hands while they figure out who actually should legally own them, and we work with them, rehabilitate them, and then we either give them back or find different homes for them.
There are enough court cases that's a...
So there are court cases where 60 horses at once
That makes
need
sense.
a house, need a place. So like it's not regular, but like out of nowhere you'll be like, there was a 75 horse like hoarding case, and now we need to find a place for all of these, and it's just a mess.
What are most of the cases? Animal abuse?
Neglect. Neglect is the big one where they'll just like.
So someone who's too old to take care of a bunch of animals anymore?
Or they just don't
Yeah,
take
no,
like
I've actually
they don't
been
realize
there.
that animals breed and then they don't do anything about it. So like they started with 2 pigs, and now 5 years later they have 260 pigs and they don't know what to do with them, and they let them loose in the local golf course, and then we have to run around the golf course collecting them.
You oil them up?
What? No.
So
we want to catch them.
So you started when you were 13.
What?
What made you want to do that?
I've always loved animals, and we grew like we had a small farm, and I just really love working with animals. I thought I was going to be a vet, and so this was like I just did service hours working with them, and then I got really interested in working with like the legal aspect of it, and so I just kind of kept taking one more step and one more step.
So you're in grad school right now. What were you doing before grad school?
I worked as a pharmaceutical chemist,
That's
doing
right.
research and development for a while.
Good.
Yeah.
So did you go to pharmacy school, or is that just a bachelor's?
Biology,
or?
yeah. I just
Okay.
did biology and chemistry background, and then picked up that job, which was awesome. Actually, I mean, the hours sucked, but that was good.
Wow, nice way to get the audio in there.
Yeah.
Gotta let them know.
Some good ASMR right there.
So yeah, now everyone knows more about Pat.
Yeah, there we go.
I
We just
just
have to
have-
like pick a new person each week.
Every
Yeah,
week
oh,
we
that'd
learn
be
a little
cool.
bit something about it.
Isn't it cool to start talking about someone?
So
Yeah.
I've never had Milwaukee's best before. What do you say it compares closest to?
Terrible.
It's Milwaukee's best,
It's,
though.
it's real bad.
It's not that bad. All right.
Well, yeah, it's the
All right, I have insanely bougie. Not even bougie.
Can-
Just
can I-
So
kinda say-
let me. TJ drinks women's beer.
absolutely,
All right, so-
100%.
so he'll-
I will. Absolutely.
He's literally got White Claw on the
Time
floor.
out. Well,
I have a
don't-
follow-up question to that.
only.
Why do things that taste good? Why are things that taste good for women?
Thank you.
I wouldn't even say it.
Are men too good to like enjoy
No, no,
themselves?
no,
Enjoy
so
what
let-
they drink.
I think PBR tastes good. I think Bush tastes good. I
It
think,
actually tasted pretty good. I'll be honest.
yeah, no, I mean like
Which tastes like shit.
fruity.
Yes.
Sure.
I wouldn't
No.
even say good.
See, but-
fruity.
See, but that's not necessarily true though, because like the really sugary like garbage drinks, I actually don't like.
Oh,
Yeah, he
interesting.
is more of the
It's more
expensive
just
whiskey,
Yeah, I actually
craft
really
beer,
like whiskey, really like bourbon, like craft
really
beer.
strong mixed drinks,
Okay, but
still
like
mostly
in
liquor.
terms of beer,
Yeah, well, I think what it actually is literally just beer.
Yeah.
Craft beers, wheat beers are good. After that, I just start tanking, unless it's a like good stout.
Have you ever
I
had
like
a
good
sour?
Oh, I love sours too, but
no, like I appreciate all beers. I love stouts. I love fucking sours. I love wheat beers. I love.
Alcohol is good.
I've always had a
Yeah.
slight.
It's just a blanket statement.
I've always literally
You
had a
like some
slight
beer you could
suspicion.
get for $1.99?
I've had a suspicion that I'm actually like slightly allergic to like hops or something along those lines. To the point where like if I drink like, you know, Natty, Milwaukee's Best, whatever it is, I like hate myself. Like I feel terrible.
Like for the most part,
Like
hops are
I can't run, can't like I feel garbage.
A hangover from just beer is way worse than a hangover from just.
But I
liquor.
mean like during.
Oh really?
Yeah, like not hangover. Like I mean hangovers suck no matter what. But like
It's so much worse if it's just beer because it's just a sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
Like your insides feel like they're liquid. Or if it's liquor, it's more of like the headache and like
Yeah. spins.
the yeah.
Yeah, no, this will be.
I've never had
80
the ice version.
This will be 80 ounces into the Milwaukee's Best tonight, and It's not that bad.
I've had regular Milwaukee's Best and Milwaukee's Best Light. Both of those are trash.
I was pretty happy with the Milwaukee's Best Ice. I tasted pretty solid. I'd drink a six pack
it's
of
fine.
those.
It was
For $4.50? Absolutely.
$4.50. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well done.
Screaming deal.
That's a great deal. All right, let's go around the circle. What's the best deal you've ever gotten on something alcoholic?
Oh, free.
Well,
I mean,
free.
I paid nothing.
So like,
Winning a bet or something.
Yeah.
Not even that. Just going to a shitty bar and they don't charge you.
Okay, that was a dumb question. Never mind. I was gonna try and salvage it with like 50 caveats, but there's no saving it.
Cheapest and most enjoyable thing. How about that?
Like a single drink, perhaps. Like the cheapest drink you've had that you've.
Yeah, no. So best or cheapest drink that you've had, and then free is banned. You can't say.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Free is banned.
Unless it's a really good story.
Wait.
Unless it's a really good
just
story.
cheapest.
I guess. Wait, what was the question?
Just cheapest.
Dealer's choice.
Okay.
The cheapest best.
If you paid, $2 for a glass of whiskey that was $400 whiskey, then that's your best.
Obviously, yeah. Because if it's just cheapest, I'm going with either Shitty K or Kraken.
Kraken!
Garbage. So they don't.
Kraken.
No.
Kraken!
Do
Do you know do you remember what the last time happened when I had Kraken?
No, but I like Kraken.
I mixed
Kraken's
Kraken
so
and
good.
UV in a shot.
Because
I ran out of UV blue.
You
I
weren't here
mixed
for this.
Kraken and UV in a shot. I took it and
Hold
then
on.
I passed the fuck out in Akron.
Horrible.
That's some
DJ,
Alice and shit.
I
Playing
made a
UV blue in
drink.
anything.
When I was a bartender, I made a drink called Kraken Egg.
Oh, I didn't like
That
it.
was
You would've
good!
liked
It
a lot.
was good!
Now hold on.
Yes!
It didn't have egg in it.
It had a full
Then
ass
I
egg
would
in
have
it.
hated it. I hate
No, it
almost
was
everything.
smooth.
Egg.
You don't even taste the egg.
I just don't like
I want to say yes.
I don't like cream.
The Kraken
I don't
the Kraken was used as a vanilla taste to it
That's
to like
fine.
replace the vanilla to it because it
Sure.
has a pretty like heavy vanilla flavor to it.
Yeah.
Mike made a good drink.
It was good.
I
Like,
think
it was
good.
I was
It
trying
was
to
good.
I just
replicate
hate
just
it.
like it was.
Especially
Literally scrambled egg is like the
this
most
raw.
intolerant from egg.
A raw egg.
I'm a
yeah.
freak. I know.
You are a
And then
freak.
even more forward, I changed it up a
on
bit.
board. I'm
I
not a
added
big
Don't
egg
like
guy.
glue
egg.
it
I just
to
don't
it.
like
I like
it.
scrambled egg.
To
If
just
eggs
egg
on
is
something
dessert.
like a burger, I'll
So
eat
good.
it. I like
I
sunny
don't
side
know
up.
if
and
it's
down.
Over
Over easy, sunny side.
It's
Oh,
smooth. Like it's smooth.
give me some
Everyone's
eggs.
talking over each
I
other.
was thinking the exact same thing. I was just like, well,
Now it's
that's
just a conversation.
unusable
Yeah.
audio right there.
Yeah, it's after hours. It's
We've
all
been
right.
doing
We
that
don't
for the
give a
last
fuck
hour.
about
We've been talking over each other this
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
No,
I think we've been pretty good.
we've been decent.
No, there's some really bad spots.
There were
where
quite a
you-
few.
There's
Me?
You talked over people a lot.
I
I've
did
been
it.
very cautious in talking over people. Like, I've caught myself off because
You're good.
I watched you roll your eyes at Scott, and I'm like, oh, Kevin's mad.
Oh, I for sure did it.
I was.
Well, I
I was
interrupted
trying
you
to-
once.
He's doing it right now.
I think this is different.
I was
Shut
trying-
up! I'm talking.
I was
Let's
trying
get
to
it
say
talking.
something, and then you immediately butted in, and I was like, well,
Well, no,
Wait,
because I asked Gabe. I said,
no, this was.
I have 3 questions, and then I didn't even ask all my questions. You're like, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you.
This was.
I didn't ask all my questions.
This was when you and TJ were talking about your game.
Yeah, that's my game. I get to talk about it. You don't get to talk about it. You weren't there. What do you have to say? Nothing.
I
Yeah,
have questions.
The penny
I don't want to
throwing.
hear your questions.
The penny throwing also wasn't great.
I made one.
It's not about the making them. It's about how
I
many
don't
times you
understand that.
nailed the side and just murdered the audio.
I gotta clean up that shit.
No, you don't.
4
You get
pennies.
to.
I know you
Well,
don't.
no one needs to clean it up. It's aesthetic.
Yeah, it's memories
I care
for.
about my green screen.
It's week 11 memories.
So, Mike Long, now that we have like 9 minutes left in this podcast,
That was me interrupting you.
what are you gonna put on
I
this
love
green
that
screen
just
in the background?
random spike. There's just this
Massive-
large.
You see, I went over that. Maybe you would have heard me if you weren't interrupting.
Ooh!
He did cover this.
Literally, what?
I think so.
Probably. That's true. You were in the
Is that
bathroom.
literally not here?
No, so it's gonna be when literally nothing's going up there until we bring up you and Johnny and like the travel that happened and whether or not you were out.
Me kicking the wall.
That's it.
I just don't believe it. I think Mike's gonna put like a little like, just like something like hilarious or dirty.
Dude,
Just-
I got till
Yeah,
Saturday
just
to
like-
upload this shit. I'm gonna mess around.
Exactly.
It's just gonna be TJ's foot.
Foot
TJ's
just everywhere.
TJ's
That's what I was
foot,
thinking.
Actually,
Like,
no.
all around us.
Actually,
I'm gonna be busy
so
with
if
family,
anyone's
never mind.
actually stuck around this long in the podcast, can I ask? Because I'm curious. Because so apparently the last one got to 80 views.
So you're just asking Sean right now, but go ahead.
Well, no, not Sean. But Sean, you've already commented. Comment if you
Yeah.
actually watched the video.
I don't know
Yeah.
who. Oh shit! It's after hours, so whatever. But I was supposed to say, literally during our podcast last week, I didn't check it, but we came up with our team name during the podcast because out of nowhere, Mark was just like the hash slinging slashers. It was literally like we hadn't said anything for like.
Oh yeah, your name sucks.
No, I love it. but
I still don't even have a name.
yeah, but no.
Why didn't Sean pick our name? I thought that was the general consensus.
Yeah, on the
I want
still
statue.
Sean to
like that
pick our
Mark
name.
and I
Sean,
are
if
on
you're
the same,
listening,
like,
I want a name
wavelengths
for our
here.
team.
With
Hurry
the,
up!
With the name.
Yeah.
With the names.
It was straight up. We hadn't said anything for like 45, 48 hours essentially. There was just nothing in the chat at all. And then Mark was just like hash-slinging slashers out of nowhere at like 9:30. Everyone liked it, and then next day I was like, "Yep, that's it."
All
Can you
right.
not talk
I
about this in the
would
podcast?
want to change it to the hash
No.
flinging.
It was at
What, like add an H?
No, ash flinging.
Ash flinging?
No.
Like
'Cause you're
flinging the
You guys
disc.
all rip
or
it down.
slinging,
Or
or
slinging
slinging
plastic.
disc.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
You're
just
slinging
slinging the
plastic.
disc or flinging.
I thought you were.
disc.
I thought you were like ash flinging.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It would still be hash.
Oh, let's do that.
No, ash like a cigarette.
Oh, you're gonna change your
Worse.
team name again. Any team you lose to, we're that team.
We're the hash flinging.
You guys are gonna be fucking
Okay,
growers
so-
not
so
showers
we're gonna-
2.0
No,
next
we're
week.
gonna
Well,
beat
no,
your
if you
team.
change
Keep
your-
it as our name now. We're gonna face TJ's team
That's
next.
not a bad idea.
No,
Lose
you
to
guys are
that,
playing.
then we're gonna change over to like.
Let me-
match
let me
TJ's.
no,
look
hold
at
on.
the-
Here's an actual idea for one of your team names. Either
I have
either
my
one.
team name.
No, these two. Either one, they play, and whoever they beat, they now have their team name. The other people have to come up with another team name. They have their
Like
team
it's
name.
ultimate Trump card.
Until
That's
yeah,
fun.
until
That could be a weekly bet. Like,
Yeah.
I'll bet my team
Oh,
name.
that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
I'm not against that.
I like that.
All right, week 2 we got. I'm
Probably gonna name our team
Dan
something
gets to
stupid
pick
now.
Dan's
Like,
little cum dumpsters.
Whoa. So yeah.
That's an even better bet. You get to choose the other
Yeah,
team's
you get to
team
pick
name
their
for
team
next
name.
week.
Yeah.
All right, so we do play week 2.
Yeah.
So
What time? What time are all the games?
we're
We're at
9
8.
We're 9 p.m.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Again,
we're the late
Again,
game.
this is next Monday that's happening.
Yeah.
So we don't
But
need
it's
to go
after
into
hours,
it.
so it doesn't
I know,
matter.
we don't need to go into it, but you and I,
Yeah.
first slot, these two first slot, Kevin and Gabe,
I'm
last slot.
I'm gonna
No,
ask.
That's right.
slot.
I think that's
I'm
right.
gonna ask that someone from my team please keep stats because I'm gonna try and throw with Vince a little bit prior.
What do you? Oh, like
no, whoever's doing game 3 should be doing stats.
Well, yeah,
or-
there's 2 teams sitting, right?
Yeah.
So there should be
I can keep stats.
available people.
I could do score.
Well,
or
you're
stats.
playing.
no.
No,
Oh,
the second-
maybe.
Oh, I thought you said you were second game.
Yeah, no. We're talking about the people sitting for the first 2 games.
Got it.
There should be 2 teams
Right.
of available people to keep stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One team keeps stats at the one
I don't
game, and one team keeps stats.
One
at the other.
versus-
Hey yo,
Three is
if
the
you're listening to this way deep in, just like comment if you want to keep stats if you're the third game.
Also, keeping stats is gonna be a lot easier now because you just get onto any of our phones and put it
Yeah.
directly into the stat sheet.
Yeah, that or you just print those out so you can do tally marks.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Print it out. Whatever.
I don't know how to copy those in Excel, so if you could copy like multiple pages.
Oh yeah. Easy. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that actually. I'll just copy blank ones for round 12 of them.
Yeah, cool. And then what we can do is end up adding like or like the stat leaders. How we have the stat leaders and then just everyone's total stats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whoever put the league leaders. That was a good.
That's me.
That was a good ad.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, I gotta get going.
All right.
I'll end on my free beer one or
Yeah.
cheap beer. Has anyone ever been to the Guinness factory in Ireland?
No.
Oh,
Sounds
Sick.
There's a Guinness.
There's a Guinness,
I mean-
so it's where they actually make everything and where it was founded and started. It's in Dublin, Ireland. It's incredible. You should go. But there's this place called the Galaxy Bar. So Ireland is not a tall city, So the Galaxy Bar overlooks the entire city, and it spins as you're up there, and like you get a free Guinness if you pay for entrance. And so like he realized it was American when I went to the bar. He's like, "Oh, American." We started chatting, whatever. And he was like, "Wait, did you vote for Trump?" Which, if anyone did, I apologize. But I was like, "No." And so he's like, "Perfect." And he stacked 6 beers on the counter in front of me.
6?
He just gave me 6 Guinnesses in a row, and he's like, "Let's just chat." So we just shot politics for like 2 hours. I stood up, passed out on the ground. Like, I just was not paying attention at all. But I was just like drinking with this guy, just like going, and it just got in the flight, so I was like totally just so sleepy, and I just stand up and I'm like, oh god. And I was just like totally eat it, and like he took me to the bathroom. I hurled everywhere.
Yeah, my
Great guy.
My girlfriend's actually been to Ireland twice because she went to Slippery Rock and they went on that, like national band competitions.
Yeah,
and they competed there twice.
that's sick.
Yeah, and she says it's like her favorite place on earth.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love
Incredible place to be. I've never been, but she talks it up all the time.
Yeah.
Saying that it's like an incredible place.
I'm holding out hope that my biological grandmother is for Ireland so I can apply for citizenship one day.
My family's. I have actually cousins and relatives there.
Because my dad's adopted, so I'm holding out hope that she
Bet.
probably isn't,
But
but
you never
like
know.
almost definitely isn't, but she could be.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know.
Nice. So that's my cheap beer story.
Yeah, no, I've never actually been out of like I've been to Hawaii, but I've never been out of country.
I've been to Niagara Falls.
I just went to Europe 2019, and it was literally like the best trip I've ever had in my life. It's amazing.
Does Canada count?
I've only
Yeah.
it's out of the country.
It's out of the country.
I would say Niagara Falls doesn't, but
Yeah,
the rest of
Canada
I
Canada
agree.
does.
I agree.
That's a
Right,
good take.
if you go to Niagara, the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, I've heard
Which
it's
is the only
better.
time. Which is the only
It is
time I've
better.
been out of
It's
the country.
down part of the
But
Oh, well,
but if
then-
that's the only
Yeah, it
piece
doesn't
of
count.
you that you
Absolutely
go
does not
to,
count.
No, I went to Canada. We almost lit a building on fire, and that was the end.
arson is lit. My
Hey,
man.
get it?
Good pun.
I've gone to Niagara and I've gone to Windsor.
Windsor.
Windsor sounds very.
Oh, I'm
It's
gonna
right
give.
across from the shrine.
It's not.
We got a minute left. I'm gonna give a shout out to my
We only
boy
have a minute.
my boys Dennis and Nate.
We only started talking at like 7 or 8. So we got
started
something.
talking at
Then I had
7:30.
not hanging out for a
Oh
minute.
fuck. Well, still shout out to my boy Dennis and Nate. We're gonna hook up next year in Toronto.
Is your stupid rival crew people?
Yeah.
Fuck them. They don't get the.
What do you mean? Fuck 'em. No,
This is the frisbee chat.
these guys are my homies. Dennis and Nate. We're hooking up next year. We're going out. We're getting lit in where the fuck you called it?
You guys are doing anal.
Yeah, we are.
Clearly.
I'm down for it.
Fair.
It is
No, I-
recorded. I hope you send this to them.
What did Dennis say?
On that exact like
Scarborough.
thing though.
We're going to
Ooh,
Scarborough.
that'd be sweet. But
That'd be
on
sweet.
that same like alcohol, cheap, good international way, very small. It was when I went last year. I went on a cruise, which was incredible. Like, props to the parents for paying for it. But like, if you go to Europe, that's how you got to do
Mom
it.
and Dad, this
Yeah.
one goes
Yeah,
out to you.
out to you guys, like, for real. but
blind
that's the
over
way you
here.
got to do it. Oh, after dark, shit, that's a great.
Oh baby, it's dark.
Yeah.
But
Lit.
No, I should have done that once I turned off the camera. Sorry, y'all.
Oh,
Fair.
okay.
But no,
My eyeballs hurt.
same exact thing.
I turned
They
around and
give
looked
you
straight
like
at it.
insanely cheap drinks on the thing because they want you to just get hammered on the cruise, which makes sense.
Fremont?
But like sunsetting over like the French
Yeah.
like wine
Yeah.
country,
It was
just
like,
like
while I was
sweet.
sitting, everything was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's when I stood up that I
Don't
was like,
marry
oh,
anything.
God,
Yeah.
this is bad.
I'm down
Yep.
for
This is
anything.
real bad.
Exactly, and
Like
then
Sunny
for me,
Blues
I had
and
that
Name
same
It.
experience, but I was with like my
I
mom and dad
don't
and my
think we have
brother.
time to
It was
do
like,
that even after.
oh,
Not how I wanted to
yeah.
I don't have to play like
Night
White
guys.
Sunday.
Yes.
Awesome.
Good night.
All right,
White-
see you
White
back.
Back Monday.
I think we have enough time for White Blues.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Sweet.
If you played like 3, you for sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can head right after work. I
We
could be
could
there
definitely
playing after
245
5.
cut some of this audio.
We're fine.
Cut some of the audio.
There's quite a bit where there's 2 separate conversations going on,
I don't think there was
which
that
is
much.
fine if
There
you're paying
really
attention,
wasn't.
but that's unlistenable.
No, dude.
I-
Mike.
Literally. Well, so I mean, this is like the last 5 minutes of the fucking podcast, but like, no, that literally only happened like once.
Yeah, I don't think there was that. many.
Everyone's very conscientious of like interrupting each other. Everyone's very good
I
about
was
it.
about to say, everybody was kind of like locking eyes with whoever was speaking in general. Like,
No, we're all
for the
very.
most part.
We all grew up with a double parent household. I can't speak for everybody, but Holy shit, I'm getting too deep into this.
After
After hours!
Yeah.
After hours! You only had a dad. No, that's fucked up. But yeah, no, I think it went very well.
I agree.
I like how I was sitting there stroking myself earlier. Now I'm sitting here stroking us.
Yeah.
Growth. Grower. Right
Grow.
That's
a
some
grower.
growth right there. Grower. I'm a grower. You guys growers?
You were 100% trying to get Gabe to stroke you, though.
there. Yeah, big
I-
time.
Kev, you a grower? My man.
So yeah, I
Yes.
kept getting called out
Kevin is a shower,
Yeah, he's
no
not
doubt.
fucking
As a
good.
Man's got a fucking
as
hog day
reaching
night.
a lot.
Really?
I was definitely talking shit about myself as much as I was
Yeah.
saying anything else.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reaching going on.
Well,
There was definitely some
There was
What?
a little bit.
but it's
What?
understandable.
Like joking about how tall is Rebecca.
Yeah, like it's
I mean,
fine.
yeah, but there were a couple other things.
Okay,
Go
okay,
back.
no, be serious. What else did I say?
No, I mean we can go back and I'll point them out to you. And it's all on recording.
I'll leave a comment.
Okay.
I'll timestamp everything.
Yeah.
Because I think I was very. I think
My
I was
man.
very. You know, I just stood in front of the train.
Actually-
That was how bad we played. And
Actually,
just
hold on. Wait, whose team is Johnny on?
Kevin's team.
Ask him to come on next week.
Oh, I think John would be a great.
I want to have John on next week.
Like Monday?
Yeah, because we're not. Odds are we're not talking about the league. John, fuck yourself. I love you, but like, fuck yourself.
I think that.
I think John would be an excellent persona to
Mike
have
Long.
on.
I think that more people is very hard if you want to have something that's listenable. So one of us would have to.
Well, not
Sick.
even.
I don't
not
think that's
even
true.
because
Okay.
yeah, that's not true because dude, everyone respects everybody, so no one talks like you said. People are talking over each other. No one really is.
Did you listen to last week's?
Mike Long.
There are some spots
There's-
that were tough. That
It
I did
really
not
wasn't.
think were.
Why are you handing me the green suit?
when we
The
were actually
camera's
doing
off.
That's the green
like this
suit,
right
though.
now.
Yeah.
This happened a
It's
lot.
like lime green.
It did not.
I don't think it happened that much, and
I listened to the whole thing. It was
Yeah.
very consumable.
I
Okay,
agree.
Fair enough.
And
Like,
I think
If you're judging it based off like Joe Rogan podcast, or
that's the
what-
thing.
Like
You have to go in knowing that this is a group of like at
Idiots.
least
Yeah.
6-7.
we're virgins.
Wait, time out. Guys, this is falling into Inception territory now. We can't talk about the podcast as we're doing the podcast.
Now it's getting meta.
But it's meta.
It's
yeah,
meta
we
hours.
can't, meta was like
Kevin
3
wants
years
to
ago.
talk.
We can't do meta now.
No, meta was like what last week when the robot decided to change his company name.
Mike Long. Dan wants to bring Johnny on next week.
Do it.
Yeah.
He should do it.
I
Yes.
think he will do it.
He
honestly.
would.
No, he would 100%
Tell
do it.
me who wouldn't be an epic guest.
I honestly think he would, like,
Ask him to come on, Mike Long.
no, after this ends, I'll call him.
You
But
ask
Johnny,
him.
Johnny,
What's
Johnny,
happened?
if you're listening to this right now, don't take it from me. Take it from literally everyone else. They want you to join the podcast. You literally live closer than anyone else here.
Wait, where's he live?
No, he doesn't.
Over by Dan.
Yeah,
Doesn't
he's
help
over
me
on
at all.
Skylane.
Yeah.
Than anyone else here. I live close. I live right down the street.
He lives close. If we're considering that Scott, TJ, and Patrick were all where does
Patrick
That's
lives
now.
Lives by Dan.
Now he
By
lives
Dan,
close.
yeah.
Now he lives
Okay.
close.
But Scott and TJ making it up here,
I just
like-
come straight from work.
yeah.
I do too, but even
Shut up, exaggerate.
even that's still like 30 minutes.
Super far.
I drive
But
over
still.
state lines.
4 hours.
I would have to
Johnny,
pass
Johnny,
through Macedonia.
You
to get
literally
home.
made it to Monday Night Frisbee. What? Make it to this.
Yeah, he almost had some trouble getting there. He put it in our group. He's like, my car died at work. I might not be able to. I might need to jump afterwards, or I might not be able to make it. I was like,
Ooh, that's a hot topic.
I'm in.
How would your game have gone had Johnny's car not started?
well, he asked
Johnny,
for a
I will
ride.
pick you up.
He asked for a ride. I was like, you might have to put this in like the main chat because
Who would have picked him up?
Matt Marshall said,
Oh,
"Do you
okay.
need a ride?"
Matt. Oh, I fucking love Matt, dude.
But
This is
So
why.
Matt was a
all right,
great first
this is
pick.
two reasons why I've never peed in Matt Marsick's pool. One, because Mr. Marsick, I respect the fuck out of. Right, Mr. Marsick is just the most genuine human being I've ever met. Two, Matt Marsick's just a homie. I
So-
love. Matt's been my ride or die since 2nd grade, dude.
So
Wait, so you are admitting right now that it's disrespectful to pee in someone else's pool.
No.
That's exactly what you just did.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
Because I respect them, I wouldn't piss in their pool, therefore it would be disrespectful to piss in their pool.
Alright, you know what? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Sure, it's disrespectful, but, like, it's a natural thing. People need to pee. A pool, blah, blah,
You can
blah.
always get out of the pool. I mean,
Yeah, get out of the
one
pool,
step.
piss on the concrete.